Dave. This is Joe.
I listened to that podcast and I was like, I am with him.
That sounds really cool. And then Chris Humphrey's hard fouls. Kevin Garnett keep pushing him straight into the third row. Let's go. My name is Dave. This is Joe. Let's go.
This is the Boston Sports Nerds Podcast, the B.S.N Show.
Joe, you got anything you want to say before you go?
No, we have talked a lot.
We have tons of nothing left in the tank.
Let's go. Welcome back to another episode of the Boston Sports Nerds Podcast, the B.S.N Show. My name is Dave. Of course, I'm accompanied by my two fellow nerds here. To my right, I have the host of WECP,
Aaron.
and to my left, I have the host of Set the Record Straight,
Joe.
Jobin Fieldville.
I delivered to a place named Tobin Carberry, law offices in New London, and that Jobin just brought that up.
They didn't cut a check. Okay,
so they're terrible lawyers.
We don't get them free.
Is that slander? Is that bad? Should I not say that?
I would not insult
Cut
lawyers.
This in post.
Yeah, I wouldn't insult lawyers of all people.
Cut this in post.
This is the 63rd episode, right?
It's a little crazy.
It's just flying. It's like every week there's another one.
We're so close to 69.
We're right there.
I think we should replace all of the
not looking forward to
the
it.
audio clips in the intro with moan sounds for the 69th episode.
Just like my name is.
We should just do Val Venus's intro music for the 69th episode.
Every time Aaron says Aaron in the intro music, it should just be a different moan.
So awful.
Just like you go to fire up the Boston Sports Nerds Podcast, and all of a sudden you just hear, "Hello, ladies." Just like goes right into it.
That'd be intense.
Yeah.
We're
here with the 69th episode of the Boston Sports Nerds.
It would just have to be like every drop would just be like a porn sound. Right, yeah. All right, let's talk Patriots. I have a quick retraction that I have to make from last week. I was listening to the podcast with a buddy of mine who was up in town, and he was like, "Aren't the Pelicans in the playoffs?" And I was like, "Fuck, maybe. I don't know." And he's like, "Well, you went on a pretty hot take that like Anthony Davis doesn't bring anything. Look at them. Where are they now with Anthony Davis?" They are in the playoffs. They're the fourth seed in the conference.
The much better Western Conference.
But, okay. Says DeMarcus Cousins, and also in their last 10 games. I don't know if those two actually go hand in hand. Like, I don't know if it's a 10-game thing.
They lost to Marc-is Cousins pretty close to the All-Star break.
Right. So I don't think it was like a week or two before. So, like, that's pretty close.
Yeah.
But in their last 10 games, they're 8-2. Right. Which is really good.
Yeah.
No DeMarcus Cousins. So that's fine. Kind of makes my point about Anthony Davis playing with other people.
Yeah.
But also, quick note, just to defend myself, San Antonio, who's fifth, is 3-7 in their last 10. Minnesota's 4-6 in their last 10. Oklahoma City 6-4, and Denver 7-3, and they only have a 1.5 game lead over those.
Wait a second.
So 10 games ago, they were a fringe playoff team.
What I care about in that
Oklahoma
City and Minnesota are neck and neck with each other.
They're tied right now.
That has to do with our bet that we made.
That does. Now they have to go further.
What was the bet? That
we said if neither of them made the playoffs, it'd be record. And then but they both made the playoffs, who would go further?
I thought it was just who would finish better, who would have a better record.
It is who went further.
That all has to do with matchups, though.
It does. It gets tough.
Fuck.
It gets tough in there.
I hope Minnesota draws like
right now.
The Rockets.
Minnesota would play San Antonio.
Yeah.
Oh no! They would play whoever's 1.5 games or 1 game above the Pelicans, whoever that person is, that team. So there's that. A week ago, 2 weeks ago, the Pelicans were a fringe playoff team. Wasn't wrong, but they've been on a hot streak since. So,
Dave, I just want you to tell me I'm right.
We'll see about that.
I just want you to tell me I'm right about Anthony Davis.
No. He's a great player. I just don't know if he's going to help a good team.
Just tell me I'm right.
No.
I don't even remember what the whole argument was.
I don't
even know if it was a direct disagreement.
Can't do
but
it.
I want you to say Joe was right.
Nope. Not gonna happen.
You will say it about the Bruins, though. You will be on the island.
We'll find out.
It's a matter of time.
We'll let that schedule play itself out. But another hot team is the Boston Celtics. 5 out of their last 6. They lost to the Rockets on Saturday, which was a dope-ass game.
Yeah.
Such a good game. Did you see the Marcus Smart kick-up last night?
No.
Go on YouTube. Find that thing. He did the Shawn Michaels kick up after a foul, just like rolled back and just like straight up on his feet, smooth as fuck for no reason, just launched himself.
Because he's Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
Wait, did you guys see the thing that was posted? It's like from Comcast Sportsnet or whatever, wherever the Celtics are.
Yeah.
And it's whoever does like the little, like it'll say like Kyrie Irving, and then under it will be like a description about their night, like win, whatever. It's someone posted on Twitter like the guy who does this shit for the Celtics just clearly doesn't give a fuck, and it said Kyrie Irving, and it was like under it's like one of the most woke players in the NBA.
I did see that.
And then like it said Marcus Smart, and it said like leads the NBA in warrior muscles and grit.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
I was like, that guy should always be on that.
It should be. That's pretty funny. Yes, they beat the shit out of the Bulls without Kyrie.
Well, the Bulls are in full tank.
Bulls are in full tank mode, but they were up by like 39 at one point. I mean, they just cruised.
The Celtics are so weird.
Who's left on the Bulls?
Chris Dunn.
Chris Dunn. They got
Chris Dunn.
No, is that the kid that was from Connecticut?
yeah, he's
Yeah,
from
he's
London.
from London. Yeah.
Chris Dunn.
How did he end up there? Oh, that's right.
He's
Okay,
from
I was going to say he
Minnesota,
was
yeah.
in Minnesota.
Chris Dunn. They have a guy they call Baby Dirk, Lauri Markkanen, who is from Arizona. He's
yes,
a
I
rookie
think
this
so.
year.
Okay, yeah. He
He's
was
a
out of
white,
Arizona.
like, white power forward who can shoot.
Yeah, just really long. He's like 7 foot.
They also have that guy. There's another guy that's actually a pretty good player. He's got tattoos on his arm. That's how I know.
Wow.
Zach
Yep.
LaVine.
A lot
Is
of
he
guys
on
in
the
the
team?
NBA.
Zach LaVine is on that team, but he's hurt.
All right, so that's not good.
That's
Well,
not
it's good for the Bulls. They just want to lose at this
I think
point.
it's Alexander is his last name. Could be wrong.
Ovechkin?
Alexander Ovechkin.
Is
Great Bulls
he
forward.
Switched. Yep, he's
Yep.
all in on basketball now.
Yeah. No. And he's not bad at it.
Nope.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah,
You'd be surprised.
Kind of likes it.
But now, with this, that means that Toronto Raptors watch is on. They're a game and a half back. The Raptors, 2 games or 3 games in a loss column, 1 in the win, I think, something like that. But
They're gonna beat the shit out of the Raptors and rightfully take their place as the best team in the East.
I hope so. I hope you're right about that.
That's all gonna happen.
That's why, and I'm completely tuned in. Like when the Raptors are playing, I'm watching that game.
I've been
No one
nothing
seems
but
to.
right the past 3 years.
I have a question. Who? Now, this is. They're
also
obviously
100% true.
playing well.
Yeah.
Who cares about the Toronto Raptors as like a franchise? Like, you know how we make jokes about like
Drake.
Jacksonville and shit.
That's right.
Drake cares
does.
about the Toronto
Once
Raptors.
again, who cares about?
does. That's your answer.
But how does that matter?
You
Well,
wanted
the city
an
of
answer to your question?
Toronto. They care about the Toronto
I
Raptors.
don't. I
And they
think
care
only
about
when they're
Drake.
good they care about the Toronto.
Yeah, the Toronto Raptors. Toronto's not a great NBA franchise. The reason why I think it matters is because I really want the 1 seed. I don't want to face Cleveland in the second round.
They had Vince Carter.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like at that point, that was the only time. And,
T-Mac.
and even after that, like they were like, "Oh, well, we have
have
Chris
T-Mac?
Bosh." Who
For a
cares?
year. I think like when he was like 44.
Oh, I was gonna say. I remember T-Mac on the Magic.
On the Magic and then
Yeah.
the Rockets. The 2 plays I remember. Tracy McGrady. Actually, you guys keep going. I'll check that.
Well,
you
they
don't
also
want to
had.
have to issue another retraction.
I don't want to do one of those.
Well, they don't even care about like the Blue Jays.
Well, I mean, it's kind
You
of
know what I
hard.
mean?
It's kind of hard to be a basketball town in Canada.
Vice
No, I
versa.
get it.
Toronto drafted T-Mac. He was 18-19.
Oh.
Play with him. There you go.
All right,
He was a Raptor.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Also, Vince
Once
Carter's
again, who
cousin.
cares?
really?
Yeah.
Also, one of the best lazy eyes in basketball.
Also think they played together for a year. Could be wrong about that, but I think in 98, 99.
Little known fact about Tracy McGrady: inspired the elbow dunk by Vince Carter. That's completely made up. I just made that up. Whole cloth.
Right? I like it. No, but I get your point though. They're not a great NBA franchise.
No, they're just like other than LeBron, Cleveland. Who gives a shit?
Like the
Yeah, I just don't want to play him.
No. I'm talking about like like as a city, whatever. Like when we talk about like cities that people care about
yeah,
as
yeah,
like
yeah.
sports towns and whatever.
God, yeah.
Like Toronto.
There's like 3 in all of the world.
Cleveland's a good sports town
Yes, because their fans actually still show up.
because they care, right? And like the
Although-
Browns are a good fan base. They're a terrible
I
franchise.
don't know about the Cavaliers though.
I don't. Yeah, no. Cavaliers
I
specifically.
feel like Cleveland doesn't like the Cavaliers.
Mm-hmm.
Like they like them because they won,
right.
But like, if LeBron leaves and they go back to being like, even if they don't,
won't
even
care.
if
They'll
they,
sell
even
like
if,
2,000 tickets.
even if they aren't terrible, even if they're like just mediocre, like an 8 or 7 seed in the East, like I don't think like Cleveland fans give a fuck about the Cavaliers.
Well, the only reason why they cared so much is because of LeBron.
Yeah,
And he's the local guy. Like, if he wasn't a local guy, they just got a great star player.
Yeah.
Those years that he was gone, nobody would have gave a
I mean,
shit.
there aren't really a lot of great sports towns in the country.
Yeah,
Boston,
no.
Chicago, New York,
L.A.
No, LA is a terrible sports
Yeah, I don't
town.
think it's a good sport. I don't think they care.
They don't care about their
Well,
teams.
here's
They
what
show
I'll
up
say.
at halftime.
Well, you know what though? I'll say this, and this is like how I look at it because I know you don't watch college, and I don't know 100%, but I'm assuming you don't watch a lot of college sports.
I follow the NFL draft. I
Yeah.
don't watch a lot of college sports.
But like UCLA, their basketball is always a lot of people pay attention because that's where like Kevin Love, that's where Lou Alcindor,
Yeah.
he went to college. But like a lot of people care about that. But at the same time, like USC at one point, it was the best place for college football.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean? Like
that's like
It's like a different thing. Like
feel like that's
Alabama.
student-
no, I know that's what I'm saying.
I
Like
feel like that's
Alabama
student fueled.
Alabama doesn't have a professional sports team.
Alabama,
Right.
I wouldn't even call a great sports town because even though they're so passionate about
Tuscaloosa.
about the Crimson Tide,
Yeah.
that it's not a sports town.
Did you guys name that when I was in the bathroom? You guys were doing cities that don't have a good
Yeah,
don't have
we
pro
did.
sports.
We
We
named
talked
Alabama.
about Alabama not
You know who
having
they
a team.
did have an XFL team. They had a team in Birmingham.
There you go.
Birmingham.
Birmingham,
But
Alabama.
like Tuscaloosa and like Kentucky they're crazy about Kentucky college
Right.
sports.
Yeah.
But they're not. I wouldn't call them like a great sports.
See, and I think there's a
town.
thing with it's tough to grade sports town with college atmospheres because like
It's student based.
it's student based. So like remember like
Yeah,
Florida
no.
Gulf Coast,
Yeah.
like all of a sudden the building was packed and it was like because they went
good,
crazy and
yeah.
the students were really
Yeah.
into it. You know what I mean?
Like
But it
UConn
wasn't-
gets packed when the Huskies are in it. You know what I mean?
right. But I also think that the Northeast is a basketball region. Now they don't like
To an extent.
Massachusetts,
Yeah.
but like they're big time basketball fans. Like you're a lot of people
Yeah.
like the Celtics or
Yeah.
whatever. You know what I mean?
Celtics, the Knicks.
Yeah,
If you're
Yeah,
going
and-
about pro sports towns, though, I mean, I would say there's only 3:
Chicago,
Chicago, New York, and Boston.
Philly.
Philly.
Yeah,
Philly.
Philadelphia.
Philly is definitely up there.
Philly, yeah,
4.
Philly's a good one, right?
Is there
Yeah.
another one? One of the towns in Texas?
Yeah, you could be like
Dallas.
Texas
Dallas.
City X
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah, what is
Or
it? Yeah.
well, Houston probably.
yeah,
Just because you have the
the Astros there.
the Astros there, and they do well. But like that's what I'm saying. Like it's one of those things. Like, and we make fun of it. Like, oh, when this team's horrible. Like we're on this high. We don't. For the most part, we don't really remember when like the teams were that awful.
right.
Like obviously before the big 3, the Celtics were fucking sad to watch, but a lot of people still went because it's the Celtics. There's
Right,
always that chance they could pick up a player.
That's
It's
true.
the same thing with the Bruins. Like the Bruins had a lot of down years, and it's like, but they're the Bruins.
Right, yeah, you just go because of who they are.
That's why I hate when people bring up, like, the fact that we're a Patriots fan are probably a bandwagon. Like, yes, there are a lot of people who, like, maybe aren't from New England who are bandwagon
I
Patriots
understand the
fans.
assumption, yeah.
But Boston is not a bad sports town. Those fans are going to ride with the Patriots, whether they're bad or whether they're good.
Right.
They were considered some of the meanest fans in
Oh, it was a
in
harsh
all the
place,
sports.
right.
But that's the other thing is like when they talk about like Oakland fans are crazy and these fans are crazy. It's like, yeah, but see the difference is like with Boston, it was like even if you were at a New England Patriots game, up until 2001 you hadn't seen a championship.
Right.
You hadn't seen a championship since the 80s.
86 Celtics, yeah, right.
You know what I mean? So, like, as a town, you're starving for one of your franchises to get good.
I mean,
Imagine if you
stuck
were
by-
born in 1980. You wouldn't really remember the Celtics 86 championship. You'd
No.
be 6 years old, right?
Yeah.
So you would
You'd
be
remember your
21
dad
years old.
super happy. That's about
Right.
it.
You'd be 21 years old with the story of Bill Buckner, the story of the Celtics, and then the Packers lost in the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
the Patriots lost in the Super Bowl, and then up to 2001. So you'd be a 21-year-old person with 3 lost championships, 1 win that you don't remember.
Yeah.
And you would have watched and remembered the Patriots losing the Packers at 15.
Anyone saying the Boston people are like bandwagon fans because their teams are doing so well. I mean, how packed the Red Sox were always a well-attended game, and they didn't win a championship for fucking 80-something years.
I also think that was part of it, though.
Yeah, right,
like
right,
it was
right.
like
That was the mystique.
That was the mystique of it. Is
90-something year, right?
86. You said for the Red Sox?
Yeah. When was the curse?
1918, 2004.
Yeah.
86 years. Yeah.
no, it was longer for the Cubs.
Cubs
right?
were like
It was
100 years.
Yeah,
something.
104, 105, something like that. Which is
So
nuts.
I mean, that's
Like
what it is. Like, but I think
Philly, I can't believe I
Chicago's the
got
same.
Philly.
But Philly's like that
Philly's a
too.
good
Like
sports
even
town.
if their team's not great, like if you go to like a Flyers game with a Bruins jersey on, you're asking to get your ass beat.
Well,
Right.
think about Philly until the Eagles won the Super Bowl this year. Think about their teams.
Right.
The Eagles sucked. The Flyers, what are they? You know what I mean?
Yeah, the Phillies were the last championship you had.
And the Phillies are terrible
And that was
now.
like, what, 2006?
And the
Something like
76ers have been like the worst team in the basketball up until this year, pretty
that.
much.
Right. Yeah. I think Philly reminds me a lot of Boston. Like, if Philly goes on a tear, Philly will be known as like the snooty, arrogant Patriot, or like Boston fans.
Oh,
Like,
I already think they're arrogant. They only
I think
won
they're
fucking
they
championship.
are they're boisterous. They're obnoxious.
They are
You know what I mean?
obnoxious.
But
they
I
eat
think
shit when they win championships.
If the Eagles win 3 out of 4 Super Bowls or something like that, or go on like a 10-year run here where they're really good,
I
all of
want
a
to see
sudden
it
it'll
swing.
be like
I
it'll
would
be the
love
same
to see
thing.
that swing.
Right.
Just like all of a sudden we're not
'Cause
the most hated fan base anymore.
Boston sports fans were perceived as like Southeast street toughs, you know what I mean? That were like, hey, you don't fuck with my Sox and whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or whatever. And now it's like we have this, oh, we're so arrogant, we're so much better than the rest of the world. Like the perception on
Yeah.
Boston sports fanhood is so 180 as to what it was. Before it was like they're a bunch of criminals, they'll fucking break into your cars at the games
Yeah.
or whatever. And now it's like, or we'll spray paint your car Red Sox colors or whatever. Now it's like, oh no, they're the exact opposite. Now they're the snooty, sushi eating, wine drinking. It's quiet at Gillette Stadium. Can you
Yeah.
please sit down? You know what I mean? Like it's just funny how it changed.
And it's like the narrative changed on the Pats after they beat when they went up against the Rams in their first Super Bowl. It was like they're the scrappy underdog team that everyone wanted to win. Like a lot of people were rooting for the Pats that first.
Well, it was
Super Bowl.
also
Right,
after
right.
9/11.
And then they kept winning, and then the narrative changed on them. Like now everyone hates them.
Right.
I could see the same thing happening to Philly if they keep winning, where that first Super Bowl is like they're the scrappy underdogs going against like the
Right.
Pats, this behemoth,
Yep.
and they win, and everyone's pulling for them, but then they win again, and
Yep.
then they win again, and then
And then you're gonna be
people
tired
are
of
going to
them.
be like, well, fuck this shit.
Because people hate dominance. People hate
Yeah.
superiority or whatever. Yeah, right. Absolutely. That's so true. So yeah, the Raptors watch is in full effect.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
the Raptors, like until you guys started telling me like any of the players' names, like I've never.
DeMar DeRozan is about the only Raptor.
Yeah, I know
Raptors.
that name, but other than that, like I don't think about the Raptors
great basketball
ever.
team. Right.
Ever.
Jonas Valanciunas.
Valanciunas?
Yeah, is he still on that team?
He's still on that team.
He's
Yep.
pretty good.
Yeah, he's pretty good, and so is Kyle Lowry.
Oh, Kyle Lowry. Yeah,
Kyle Lowry's
good
real
point guard.
Yeah, real good.
He used to be on the Rockets.
Yeah, that's also true.
Drake.
And Drake. Drake's
yeah.
there.
Drake's
Sixth
there.
man.
He's the
Six
the
god.
most famous Raptors fan of all time.
Yeah. 6 god, 6 man. Okay. So, yeah, I'm just.
The only 6 man who doesn't play.
That's it. Yeah. 6th man of the year. Never played a minute. I'm just interested to see what happens. I really want the 1 seed.
I do too.
I want.
The easiest
Right
path,
now it would be Milwaukee.
quote unquote, the
But,
easiest
yeah,
path to the playoffs.
Right. It's just not LeBron in the second round. That's really what I want.
I don't know if I like playing Milwaukee right away though.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't love that either, but I'd rather Milwaukee.
They're the 8 seed.
They're the 8 seed right now.
Well, Milwaukee.
Where's Miami?
Win a couple games.
Miami's 7th.
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah.
Milwaukee, win a couple games.
Man, do you think he's going to go up for it again? You know, finish in the top 3?
You know who
No.
I think? You know who I think might is the fucking Jazz coach.
Maybe.
Yaz Flute.
Oh, our friend? No, that he was the Grizzlies coach, right?
Yeah.
He's the Grizzlies coach. They're 34-30. They're the 10th seed in the West, but they're only 2 games out, a game and a half out. I think if they make the playoffs after losing Gordon Hayward, I think that'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Like, I think that he could be a finalist, not necessarily win it. I think Brad Stevens. See, this if anything, this is the year that Brad Stevens deserves it the least.
Yeah, and it makes
You know what I
no
mean?
sense. And
Right.
if he doesn't get nominated, they should riot.
He should definitely get nominated because
Yes.
you lose your second best player 5 minutes into the game for the rest of the year.
He didn't
Or
even
maybe.
get nominated last year.
That's crazy. That's nuts to me.
He finished the first seed in the East. They had a better record than the Cavaliers, who have the best player in basketball.
Right.
They finished with a better record than him, and their coach doesn't even get nominated for the award.
Yep.
That's crazy.
That's because
Instead, Eric Spoelstra, who missed the playoffs,
one
was
why?
nominated.
Wonder why? Because you had average Al,
Average Al Horford.
and that's what they look at. They look at you and go, "You're average. You're average, kid. Even though you finished first, you're average."
You beat the best player in basketball. You had a better record than him with a fucking bag of peanuts as their team.
Yep.
I'm going to name you guys a couple teams. 4 of them are in the playoffs.
Yep.
I want to see if you guys can guess which ones.
All right.
Okay, we'll game.
So who's in the playoffs right now?
Is this East or West or both?
East.
All right.
East.
All right.
The Magic, the Bulls, the Hawks, the Knicks, the Bucks, the 76ers, the Pacers, the Wizards, the Hornets, the Nets, the Heat.
All right. So the Heat and the Bucks.
Right, I told you those two. Right. So yeah, that's a god damn it.
The Pacers. No,
Atlanta?
no, I don't think Atlanta. I think Atlanta might have the worst record in the NBA,
I don't know.
or one of. What was the other? It's not the Knicks.
So all right. So of the teams that you haven't named yet, you said Pacers,
I said Pacers,
Heat, and Bucks.
Heat and Bucks.
All right. So of the teams that are left, I would say Bulls, Nets, Wizards, Hawks, Bulls. Oh, I'm sorry. Magic, Knicks, Hornets, Pistons. Which one of those teams?
Pistons.
No, the Wizards. fifth.
I can. That makes sense. The Wizards aren't going to be a threat though, because isn't John Wall like hurt?
I think he is hurt. I think he's coming back though. I don't think he's shut down for the year. The Pacers are the 4 seed.
I knew the Pacers had a good record,
Which is a
actually,
wild thing
because
to-
Victor Oladipo has been like a
Balling
breakout star
out.
since
Well,
he
here's
got
the-
Russell Westbrook.
Here's the other thing. When you look at the players that the Celtics had last year, like you were talking about, like the roster from last year, like almost all of them went to fucking Cleveland,
Right. Now none of them are on Cleveland.
and like none of them are. They couldn't win with them,
Right.
and it's like, and they did that with,
LeBron James. Yeah.
and they couldn't go and play with LeBron.
Yeah, they couldn't win with
With the better play, with
Yeah.
the
Best player in the
better,
world. Right.
the better
but
star player.
but their coach doesn't deserve to even be nominated for Coach of the Year.
It's crazy.
I
I see what you're saying. They were able to outperform Cleveland last year
and then
with guys
and they have
that
a-
joined LeBron this
Yeah.
year,
and then they couldn't win.
and then they had to trade.
if
him
you
away
look
because
at
he
it,
was
if you look at it this year, Cleveland. If you look at Cleveland versus Boston the past 2 years, who has the bigger center, big man?
the past 2 years,
Yeah,
Cleveland,
because
Yeah.
you got Love
Kevin Love, yeah,
or
who
whomever.
was like equal size of Horford.
You know
but
what
yeah,
I'm saying?
I know
But
what
like
you're saying. Yeah,
everybody,
Who's the
when
better
you
player?
when you look, that's what I'm saying. When you look at it, who's the better player?
right,
Love.
Kevin Love, yeah.
So you have Love,
Right.
you have LeBron, and I'm not saying this.
You
to be
had
stupid,
Kyrie.
but I'm not even saying this to be stupid. You lost is Kyrie.
Right.
You added the all-star point guard from the other team,
Right.
and their other pieces,
right.
and you fell off farther.
To be fair, Isaiah Thomas was not the same Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah,
No, but
Isaiah
he
played out of
clearly
his
dealing
head
with an
last
But
year.
he also wasn't going to be that in there. He wasn't going to be the focal point. It was going to be LeBron.
But-
I don't know. Even if Isaiah stayed in Boston, they never
Yeah.
made the trade. I don't think Isaiah. I think the NBA has seen the best Isaiah Thomas already.
I'm
think
telling
that
you, the
year he
Isaiah
played out
Thomas.
his
I'm
head.
telling you, the Isaiah Thomas on the Celtics is better than the Isaiah Thomas that you would have ever seen in Cleveland.
Yes,
Even if he's
healthy.
not- even if
yeah,
he's
right,
healthy.
right, yeah,
Even if
yeah.
he's healthy.
Think about it. This is why Brad Stevens is one of the best coaches in the NBA. Who was Jay Crowder before he came to the Celtics?
Serviceable role player.
And who was he? What was he after he left the Celtics?
He was a staple to the Celtics' toughness.
No, after he left.
Serviceable, not barely serviceable role player.
Yeah.
Right.
So during the time with the Celtics, he was like
He was a glue guy.
like a 15-point a game,
Right.
fucking
Starting
starting
at
small
the 3.
forward.
He's your best defender, starting
Yeah.
3. Right, yeah.
Isaiah Thomas, before he got to the Celtics,
He was sixth man of the year.
Six man.
Sixth man of the year.
Yeah.
He comes to the Celtics. He breaks the fuck out.
Yeah. Becomes a starter.
Becomes a
Makes
star.
an all-star 2
Yeah.
years in a row.
Leaves the Celtics.
Right.
Has been awful.
It was like 5th in MVP voting last year.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
It's crazy. All
That's
pro.
what I'm
I think
saying,
he's
like-
all pro. Too. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's just the thing that like to look at and just
Avery
go.
Bradley. You saw Avery Bradley grow up with
Right.
the Celtics.
Second best scorer on the
And
team. Right.
Bradley gets there, or Brad Stevens gets there,
Yeah.
and Avery Bradley starts to
Shoot.
turn into this player that we didn't even think he was. We thought he was just a defender.
Right.
And he turns into this all-around good guard. He leaves, and he's
Traded again.
He's awful.
Everyone that they traded last year
Got
is
traded.
not on the team that they.
I don't
traded
think
to.
Marcus Smart works anywhere else. I don't.
Marcus Smart.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you can find a team that's willing to give you something crazy back for him,
Right.
take it because
Right.
he's going to go and he's going to be
like
a flop.
Anthony Davis?
He's going to be a flop somewhere.
Right. That's true. He's gonna flop. He's definitely gonna flop
I
somewhere
don't think
because
Marcus
that's
Smart.
what he does
I
best
think
is flop. on
Marcus
the court.
Marcus Smart works in the NBA as a bench defender, like
Right. Yeah.
like a defensive specialist.
Right.
Yeah, you said
I don't think you get quality minutes for like most of the game out of him anywhere else but with Brad Stevens in the Celtics.
Do you want to hear? Okay.
I think you compared him last week to Meadow World Peace. That scumbag.
He's like Thabo Cephalosha. Remember Thabo Cephalosha? For,
The Thunder and
the
Rockets.
Thunder.
Yeah.
He would start. He
Yeah.
was their starter
over James Harden.
over James Harden, but he was just a defensive specialist. Like he would go in and defend their best player.
Right. I think he's like Ron Artest in the way that
it's Meadow World Peace.
he's not very good at anything.
Yeah,
defense. Very
He's,
defense.
That's what it is.
But he's a lot better than you in the head.
Yeah, that's
You
what
know
I'm saying.
I mean?
Like he gets in your head to.
If I had to choose like a Dennis Rodman,
yeah,
Ron
that's what it
Artest
is.
type, he's that kind of guy.
That's what he is.
You don't want to hit
But-
him with a beer.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I would.
And,
He's gonna
here's a
punch you.
fucking
That's okay.
weird. Here's a weird factoid about Marcus Smart. He is shooting the worst active field goal percentage in the NBA.
Nice.
36%
It's not that weird, actually.
from the field. No, but he's probably the most important Celtic. The win differential between him and any other player over the past 3 years is the largest. He has the best plus minus on the team over the past 3 years, Brad Stevens' era, since he's been in the NBA.
Yeah.
And their defensive percentage jumps, or defensive rating or whatever, jumps the most with him on the court as opposed to off since Brad Stevens has been there. So Brad Stevens, very, very good defensive coach, but Marcus Smart makes the difference from game to game, in and out. You know what I mean? And he's the worst shooter in the league. That's a crazy thing to me.
That's why he
he has a job.
Yeah.
As the worst. I mean, literally, and someone's got to be the worst
Yeah.
and in the NBA. So
But
I mean, that makes sense.
but
it's just crazy to me.
But I think you have a good shooter in your point guard. Like
Yeah.
you went from a guy that can that's all he can do because he's too short to dunk,
Right, yeah.
to a guy that could do a lot
Do it all.
more,
Right.
and he can shoot. Mm-hmm. I think you're gonna. Depends on whether. It's tough because Hayward's going to be a good shooter.
You know
Right.
what? You know what?
You know what I mean?
You know
Like,
what you do with this team?
Everyone on that team is pretty good at shooting,
Right.
except for Smart. You can have one guy
Right.
that your job is to go out there and just fuck shit up
Right.
for the other team, not us, but for the other team.
Yeah, it's so true.
Maybe we'll roll this into the social media second, but assume Hayward is back and healthy, right?
We're saying this year or
Yeah.
just whenever?
Just
it is? Okay.
let's just assume he never got hurt. What is your best Celtics lineup?
See, if we never saw Tatum, you'd never know. You would just assume he's just
Knowing
a
what
rookie.
you know, we'll say you know what you know about Tatum. Let's say
say we're going next
Hayward
year.
gets touched by God and he's
Right.
healed magically,
Right.
and he can come back right now. Knowing what you know, what's your best Celtics lineup?
I still believe we talked about it before the season started. My whole take is that it depends on the matchup.
Yeah,
I
what
never
think?
liked them having a solid starting five. I like the fact that you could go Baines, Horford as bigs, or Horford at your five, or whatever. You know what I mean?
I think you should do.
I may be Glenn Ordwaying my playing the fence there on that answer,
No,
but
I would-
I
I
have
think
a
you
tough
should
time
do
putting it together.
Irving, Smart, Hayward at the 3,
Yeah. See, Jalen's a really good defender, though.
Tatum at the 4.
Yep.
Horford at the 5. Jalen as your 6 man.
Yep.
And I like that lineup because you're protecting Marcus Smart being out there.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you can get all of that boost that he is. He's almost transcendent on defense as
Right.
like a talent.
Right.
You get all that boost from him being out there on defense, like without having to worry about him offensively because you have all of these offensive people out there.
Right.
You're guarding his need to be even involved in the offense, except for like wide open looks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
See, I would do it a little different. I would do do Irving. Then I would do. It depends on. This is the only thing I would do based upon matchup. I would either do Hayward at the 2 or Brown at the 2. Like depending on the matchup, switch the 2 of them.
Yeah.
And then Tatum as your 4, and then Horford as your 5.
Yeah.
As your starters. You can do whatever you want off the bench, but I think that is... I think you could bring Smart in, like if hypothetically LeBron's going off, bring him in just to fucking, like, essentially just chokeslam him to the ground.
Or a better way to do it might actually be start the game with Smart on the bench, put all of your like best offensive guys on, build a lead, and then put Smart in the game, and be like, hey, don't give up this lead.
Nuts. Yeah. That's tough. I mean, I think their best lineup, like their most talented lineup, is
Smart on the bench.
Smart on the bench, Kyrie, Jalen, Hayward, Tatum, Horford. Right. But I do understand what you're saying. You can kind of mask his weaknesses if you put him out there with those guys. He doesn't have to do much.
Yeah.
And then he can just really work on one side of the floor and do his thing. And the thing is that he's a good on-ball defender, but he's not like Avery Bradley good on defense. Like Avery Bradley was good at tracking the ball and really good on-ball defender. Marcus Smart's a really smart, in the right place, right time kind of guy. Like, and that maybe be a pun, I guess. Marcus Smart's really smart, but
Marcus
Smart. Mark is smart. Check that out. Fenway. That's it.
That's a callback.
Name of the episode. Mark is smart. The 2 charges that he took against Harden last time they played Houston.
Yeah.
Like Avery Bradley wouldn't do that stuff.
Well, he's a more Jesus. He's a more
that legit in the corner of my eye looks like you threw that down on the table.
Not at all. I was not aggressively like rebuttaling.
He just Gronk spiked his phone into the table.
Avery Bradley definitely would have done that against Harden.
He's a more versatile defender.
I didn't know I pushed a button there.
Marcus Smart is a more versatile defender. He can defend more
like 4
positions.
Yeah.
He can weirdly defend 4 positions. Like he has no business defending a power forward, but
he can do it.
He
gets up on it. Yeah, he gets up on him. And a couple weeks ago, I said, just like we did a year ago.
Didn't they put him on Kevin Love?
He has played on Kevin Love.
He's played on Kevin Love. He's played on.
They put him on
LeBron.
Kevin Love
Tristan
last
Thompson
year.
On LeBron.
Yeah.
Like he'll play anybody.
It's just like Kevin Love was like, what am I supposed to do with this guy? Like, what?
Yeah, it's great. And then what happens is they start backing him down. As soon as he times it, they back down. He flops to get the charge because it like looks like they fucking ran you over or whatever.
I do hate him. I would just pull straight up Draymond Green. Just every time they try to
kick him,
just dick kick the big guy.
Just give him a good old dick kick.
I do hate Marcus Smart and his weird flopping.
Yeah,
he's like one of the worst floppers of all time.
He is definitely. Also, go check out his kick up. I know I mentioned that, but I can't hit.
Was it post flop?
It was post flop.
He flopped
post flop and then kicked up. Yeah,
he's like a soccer player out there.
Yeah,
just
it's
like
great.
Oh my god!
It's like if he was on like the Cavs, I'd be like I fucking hate that guy. Like oh my god, it's unbelievable.
Do you think that's where he's going to go next year?
It's like what would happen if LeBron came to the Celtics, where I'd just be like, God,
I know I'm rooting for the Celtics, but
I really don't like LeBron.
I couldn't root on LeBron. I could root for the team. I just couldn't root for him at all. I'd be like, oh my god. You know what? Break your leg. Break your leg. That's it. Break your leg.
Yeah. Let's get Gordon Hayward back.
Why has he never thought about coming to the Celtics?
He's said it before that he would if the opportunity.
They always talk about him going to all these different teams. Like he never thought about going to the Celtics.
He also
they can't afford him. I don't think.
Well, here's the other thing. Think about the place that he wanted to go and went. Miami versus Boston. Where do you want to live year round?
Yeah, you're leaving Cleveland. Living in Cleveland's like living in Boston. Like
You're living in the cold.
nasty,
That's
right.
probably colder.
It's probably cool, yeah.
For longer.
Yeah.
I don't want him here as a coach killer.
He is a coach.
Well, that's the other thing. I don't think he would take to a Doc. He wouldn't take to a Brad Stevens. I think
so, yeah.
guys that have and Brad
got some
Stevens
balls
is different
before
than
he
I was going to say Brad Stevens is different than Doc. Doc was, "Hey, I played here. I know what the fuck's going on, and I know how to do this. Listen to what I'm saying to you."
Right.
But he also had the ability to talk to like the veterans.
Right.
Obviously, he had a conversation with Paul and Ray and Garnett. And Garnett, like, "Hey, Garnett, you're going to come in. You're not going to be you on Minnesota, but we're going to need that defense.
Right, yeah.
And that toughness.
Right.
And then you're going to get your points, but it's not going to be 35. It's going to be 22.
Right.
And then Ray's going to get less numbers, and
gonna be
Paul's
like
going to get
18,
less
20,
numbers,
right, yeah,
but you guys are going to win.
Right. Yeah, I think that's exactly. And like also he did that trip over to, was it Italy or Japan?
Yeah.
Somewhere where they went. Yeah, they traveled together for the preseason, and then they developed that Ubuntu saying or whatever, and then that was like their thing or whatever. They fucking bought in.
Oh, anything's possible.
Yeah, impossible is nothing or whatever. Nothing is impossible. So yeah, that's what I got for the Celtics.
The Celtics,
I'm interested to see. We got about 18 games left.
I see.
We said they needed a break, and it seems like we were right about that. They just needed the break.
Right. Yeah, they're 5 and 6 cents.
Yeah.
They needed the break.
I'm sorry, 5 out of 6.
They needed to get the break, and they
Yeah.
needed Smart and a couple other guys that were dinged up to get healthy.
Yeah. And then you get guys like Tatum and Jalen who are 20, 21 years old, young, used to a college schedule.
Get their legs back underneath them.
Yeah. It's just, and especially they played, I think, the second most games in the NBA leading into the All-Star break.
Yeah.
So they have a lighter schedule on the
the other
back end,
side,
which is
yeah.
good. So I think those guys just ran into the wall like, hey, we've never had to play this much basketball in 3 months as we have these 3 months.
What's crazy about that is, like, when you think about that, like, they talk about how many games they play in a college season.
Yeah.
How many of those preseason tournaments do they play in?
I know.
Where they go to, like, Hawaii
Yeah.
and play in, like, 10, 15 games. Like, yes, they don't play as many as they do in the NBA.
Yeah.
But don't tell me you don't know, like, you don't know this. Like, yes, it's a little bit different. It's not one game a week. It's
right.
3, 4, 5 games a week.
Yeah.
It's more travel, but you know what it's like to play that much.
Yeah.
You're just, it's not as spread out as it used to.
It's better competition, too.
Also
That too, yeah.
competition. Also, you're playing more minutes.
Yeah.
Like an NBA game's 48, college is 40. You know what I mean? So like it's each game's longer. There's more of them. They're more frequent, and you travel more in
You know what
between.
that sounds like? A bunch of whiners.
Hey now. Let's move on.
Yep.
Don't call me out. All right. So we brought back the social media second this week. We threw out there, should Gordon Hayward come back and play this year if healthy? The vote determined no. Yes. I forgot.
The vote was no.
yes,
The vote
right?
was no.
4 people.
4 for no.
I think
3
I
for
said
yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
No.
I thought it was like
Yes.
7 for
It was
yes.
4. No.
No.
4 for no, 3 for yes.
That's what I said.
All right, this
I
doesn't
wanna
count though
rewind that.
because I didn't vote,
You didn't vote. Okay.
and I would have said yes.
So it would have been tied.
So it would have been tied.
God damn it, Joe.
God damn it! Why did so many people say no?
I think a lot of people are worried about the chemistry.
Yeah. I think that's the
People
big
are
issue.
dumb.
I am a
We're
little
including
worried
Dow.
about that.
I'm calling
Wow.
Dow out.
Okay. Wow. Tune into the sports
What
board.
the fuck, Dow?
For the
what
rebuttal.
the fuck, Dow? This is gonna come out after sports.
Yeah. Next week on
Dow.
the sports board.
How can you say no? You're wrong.
I don't know. I'm a little worried about the chemistry. And
You
what if
said
he does
yes.
it again? I know. No. Believe me. I want him to. But I am worried. There's a lot of things that I do that I also feel very...
Wishy-washy about?
Yeah, exactly. Like this show.
They have the best coach in the NBA. They'll be fine at chemistry.
Yeah. What do you do with the minute-wise, though? I mean, because now, like, okay, hey, Tatum, so now you're down to
I think you don't put him
17
as your
as opposed to
starter.
25. No. He'd come off the bench.
Yeah.
He'd have to come off the
Yeah,
bench.
yeah.
But, like, whose minutes is he taking?
Smarts.
You take a little from Smart, a little from Tatum, a little from.
I don't want to do that.
All of a sudden that changed.
It'd be a lot of Morris
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah.
A lot of Morris.
He doesn't do anything anyway.
You take a little bit from everyone, and it would equal.
Right. 2 minutes here, 2 minutes there. Yeah.
Morris isn't doing
You've played
enough.
NBA 2K. You've just dropped those sliders a little bit. You make some minutes in
I
your
was going
budget.
to say, he fucking make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Morris has been underwhelming, I'd say.
And what's the other guy, the big fucker that you guys were so happy about?
Greg Monroe?
Yeah,
he's been real good.
Has he?
He's been real good. He had 10 points, 9 rebounds, in 19 minutes last night.
Nice.
Real good.
Well, it sounds like a little Brad Stevens magic.
Yeah.
Little Brad Stevens pixie dust got sprinkled on old Greg Monroe.
I don't even want to say that because he's a good player. Like, I was pumped
Well,
to have him. We said he'd instantly be their best player.
Kyrie's not playing tonight, is what I heard.
He didn't play last night. I don't think they're playing tonight.
Okay, so he didn't play last night, and what's his name did?
Rozier.
No.
Shane Larkin.
No. The other guy was
Rozier probably
active.
did
Your boy Tice was.
Tice.
He was active. He's
Tice
been playing
that
well.
Dude.
Yeah.
Tice has been that dude.
That weird German guy.
Nice talk.
Marcus Morris this year is averaging 12 points, 5 rebounds a game. So it's okay in 25 minutes, which is kind of underwhelming.
Is it weird? I just have a general rule of thumb. If you average double-digit points in the NBA, I consider you just like a
good player.
You're just a good guy. You're just a good player.
I think you're a good citizen.
If he averaged double-digit rebounds and just barely touches double digits on points, I'd be more happy with that.
Yeah.
I just instantly think you're a starter level person in the NBA. If you have double digits,
even if it's 10.9,
even if it's just barely, just oh no, you should be a starter.
Yeah, you should.
And just everyone else who has just averages 7 points a game, just you don't touch the court ever.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Hey, fucking Tice has 7 rebounds, 3 straight games in a row. 19 points, 6 points, and then 12 points. He's been good.
How tall is he?
Tice scored 19 points in a game?
Yeah, in 21 minutes. He was 8 of 10 from the field, 2 for 2 from 3.
It's just
holler at your boy.
Coming in at full speed.
6'9".
He's 6'9".
Yeah.
So that's
just
hello, ladies.
The only thing that that worries me about their team is everybody's in that 6'9" mold.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's just the NBA now.
Yeah, there's not a lot of guys bigger.
You know who's not in that 6'9" mode? Greg Monroe.
Baines.
And Greg Monroe.
That's true. Well, Monroe's 6'10", right?
I thought he was 6'11". I thought he was a fringe 7-footer.
He might be.
I thought he was 6'10".
He's 6'11". 6'11".
Whatever.
Yeah, he's good.
That depends on what shoes he wears.
Yeah, really.
Well, in heels. He's 7'4". There you go. So we're gonna have. He's got the brand new heels basketball shoe.
So he can be like Shaq.
The Marilyn Monroes. The Nike Marylands.
Not bad. I see what you did there.
If he went to Maryland, that'd be even better.
Man,
full circle.
What we're doing with this?
We're pretty good at this stuff.
That was pun talk.
Yeah, welcome to Social Media Pun Talk. So yeah, a lot of people say no.
I think
I can't remember.
that's what I'm saying.
4 people said no. 3 people said yes.
No.
Yeah. 4 people said yes if you count me.
There you go. The nerds say yes.
All 3 nerds.
Yeah, all 3 nerds.
Three thirds of the nerds say yes.
I really like that tag. 1/3 of the nerds.
1/3 of the nerds.
Yeah.
I used it.
Yeah,
I used it when I was on Steve's
Who invented that?
I think
I'm not taking credit for it.
I think
Wasn't
Dave
me.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to take any
I think on Dave Speaks, I referred to myself as the
1/3 of the
1/3
nerds.
of the nerds of the Bus Sports Nerds podcast.
Yeah.
It does roll off the tongue, really. Easy.
Well, turns out, little known fact, third and nerd rhyme.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty nice.
yeah.
We'll put
Whenever
that
you can throw
It's that rapping.
piece that
He
together.
busts that
My old
rapping out
rapping
every-
history. I actually wrote that song in 1999. 1/3 of the nerds.
digging back into the
Those
library. there.
fractions speak louder than words.
What was the? Remember, I wrote the remix for one of my fantasy field goal.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Islands in the Stream. It was Islands in the Stream remix.
And you did the remix to it. That was good. You know what I just found out? I was trying to go through and clean up the stat sheet on the podcast because it's way out of date. You tagged your Joe's Fantasy Field Goal with a different Joe's Fantasy Field Goal than you did it differently every week as opposed to choosing the same one. So then I deleted all the extra tags. And now half of your episodes are uncategorized. And so if you click the Joe's Fantasy Field Goal link on the side, it only shows episodes 11 through 19 or something like that. Goddamn, or 17.
Whenever I did Joe's Fantasy Field Goal, this is a little inside podcasting.
You would just type it in?
I would no. I would go through that whole list and click anything that had to do with fantasy sports.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
Joe, fantasy, field goal, all separate things.
For
Joe's fantasy field goal, JFFG, just all
a
these
long
different
time.
things. I would just tag like all of them relevant to the show.
I thought that
And
those were like
and
keywords.
uncategorized. And I would click uncategorized just to do it.
Right. So I thought that those were like keywords. So it was like hashtags, kind of like an
Yeah.
underlying thing. So if
Yeah.
someone
If you-
searched for one of those words,
Yeah.
they would come up. It doesn't.
No.
It's just a category
Yeah.
of what your episode is. So then that links on the left-hand side, I choose which ones to display or whatever. So then I went to go do Joe's Fantasy Field Goal. I was catching up on all your numbers, and I'm like, oh, this stops at 11. Because fucking now it's gone. So now I have to go through the fucking ether history and find each episode one by one. Nightmare.
So now I just do set the record straight. It's the only one I click.
Just one. All we need is one.
Just-
That's it.
I click on a lot of them.
I know you do. I see them all the time. Every time you post an episode, I check like the episode management, and it's like wrestling podcast or whatever. And I'm like, oh god, there's so many. Like
don't even show
I go
up in
through and
my
like
thing,
delete
I
a
feel
bunch of
like.
them. On what?
They don't even like show up in my when I have the little scroll menu. They don't show up.
It's probably because it's way at the bottom.
Oh, maybe I only go.
Because it's
down
all
to
like
ass.
wrestling.
I only
yeah,
go down
yeah,
to ass.
Yeah, it's
so.
like wrestling toys, whatever. Like yeah.
Collectibles.
Yeah, collectibles. Yeah. Yeah. No, I see it. I'm onto you guys.
I even started clicking like we were talking about Tom Brady on this
Right.
BS Nerds, and it would show up in that thing. I'd be like,
Click
I
it.
talked about Tom Brady today.
Yeah,
Click.
click it. Yeah.
Interview? I didn't interview anyone, but we'll add that one.
Yeah, oh, Jesus Christ. So now, like, you click the interview link, and it's just Joe's Fantasy Field Goal. With Ben Field Goal.
he interviewed Ben Field Goal.
There we go. Perfect. Yes, I got a lot of cleaning up to do there. Thank you. Rick Nash is a Bruin. We talked about that last week.
Yes,
And
right.
turns out better than Sidney Crosby.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
Let's throw it out there. Go on the island, right?
Here's
Go
the
on
other thing.
island, right?
The one thing I really kicking myself in the ass for not mentioning it last week is Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is number one.
Yeah.
And
Dude,
then they added better pieces to their team. Like
Right.
they got better. Mm-hmm. So that's the thing that worries me. Like I know Joe, you're cemented into your island.
Already building a statue to Rick Nash on the island. So,
But did you hear Claude
No.
this week?
No.
Oh man, he had an interview where he's like bashing the Bruins. 'Cause
Really?
They played the Bruins.
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
like basically bashed the way they played, and he's like, he's like talking about how Nash like laid out and did something, and he's like, oh, he flopped and this and that. And we're tired. We've been playing. Like, he's making all these excuses.
Oh,
of
yeah,
why-
I did hear
and I
the
was
things
like,
about
you're
them being
such
tired.
a fucking wuss, man.
Yeah, dude,
Like,
that's bad.
just admit another coach came in with pretty much the same young pieces that you had. Did a fucking better job because he's not a fucking old man that like stuck in his ways and only wants them to play defense and you have to fucking go to the corners and this and that, and if you can't, I'm trading you to Dallas. Like, dude, you know what? How about you just accent your team what they have?
will like hardcore Celtics fans ever get over that trade of what's his name to Dallas?
Celtics.
I'm sorry, Bruins.
What do you mean? So giving up on Sagan?
Yeah.
The way they did?
I don't think they will. I don't think they will.
See, here's the thing. Here's the difference.
If they
though.
win a cup.
If they win a cup, here's the
That
other.
would- yeah,
here's the
that would
other
get 'em
thing.
off of it.
What the only thing that like massive blessing that they got was you had Pasternak and Brad Marchand like found his game. Even though he gets like himself suspended for like 2 games, he found
Such a little weasel.
that's what he is, and he's small. He's like 5'9".
Yeah, yeah.
He's a little guy.
Nothing wrong with being 5'9".
But for a guy that's like playing a wing position
Right.
in the NHL, you want to be a
Scrappy
little
as
bit
fuck.
bigger.
Yeah, yeah,
so he's scrappy for a little guy.
Anyone taking a picture of the little weasel next to fucking Chara? Just put him. You know they always take those pictures of like giant
Yeah.
people and short people.
Although I'm sure there's a bunch of photos of that out there.
Yeah.
But no, he's really good. I believe also that's his number 63, which is the episode number tonight.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's actually not a bad. Never mind.
To name him after.
I was going to say, yeah, name after, but that's sort of like where that 0 to 100,
Oh yeah.
0 to 100 thing, yeah.
No double zeros.
Yeah.
Remember when I was going to do
Aaron.
the 0 to 99, the best player of each number.
Yeah,
each,
Yeah.
each
Do a
podcast,
podcast about each one of them.
Yeah.
It's still a good idea. Cut this in post.
So, yeah.
But no, they're playing really well. Tuca's playing great. just have to hope that when you hit the playoffs, those other teams get tired.
So are you paddling towards the island?
Am I paddling towards the island? I am on a
I just want to let you know,
houseboat
it seems like the water
for the Bruins.
The weather report from the island is that the waves seem to be very calm.
Yeah.
The water is not choppy at all. There's no storm brewing
Right.
So you can
around
just
the
slip
island.
right in.
There's nothing to push you away.
Right.
It's actually very inviting here on the island.
kind of this current.
We just started a statue of Rick Nash. It should be done 2018.
Well, here's what I say: if first round of the playoffs,
Later 2018.
they like smoke somebody.
Yeah.
Okay, they're just gonna cruise. Like,
Yeah,
they're,
yeah.
and not that they're gonna blow everybody out.
Maybe housing rates on the island go up.
But
First round of the playoffs.
I have
just wanna
I
let
have
you
a
know.
houseboat that I can dock. All
Well,
right,
maybe docking fees go up.
but that's my point. Like, I think I'm definitely one of those people. Even with the Patriots, I'm very like 1 foot out,
So
just in case.
Are you ready to say that Rick Nash is better than Sidney Crosby?
No.
All right, let's do a little stat check. How many goals did Sidney Crosby's team score the last game against the Bruins?
4.
All right, and how many goals did Rick Nash's team score against Sidney Crosby's team?
8.
All right, that's
That's
the defense.
If
I
he
rest
got-
my case.
If he only got like 1 goal and Sydney got like 3 of those,
I
4.
didn't ask that question though. I asked how many goals did the team score,
What's the plus minus with Rick
and
Nash?
I happened to
hold on.
notice that Rick Nash's team scored more than Sidney Crosby's team. Therefore, I rest my case.
I'm with you. I would like to see them get into this postseason and win their first series in like
I'm gonna
5.
be-
I think
So-
blowing out the Penguins is a
I think
a
it's a statement
phenomenal
game.
thing, but
I'm going to be
that's the other
so
thing. Like,
disheartened if they get into the playoffs and lose in the first round. And my island
like,
just
well, that's
splits in half
hockey.
and sinks into the sea.
Just Joe's going to drown to death.
Just goes full Atlantis and disappears forever.
Would you rather burn to death than drown?
Well, I heard burn to death is the most painful one, so I'll go with that
I'm
one.
going to do that one.
That's a serial killer answer.
That's a serial killer answer and an inside cut.
Yep.
That's where you get cut from
Maybe
the inside.
eventually it will be an outside cut. Maybe.
Yeah, we're hoping so. Yeah, so I'm with you though. Bruins look good. Real impressive win over the Penguins.
Dave, I'll ask you the same question.
Okay, what is it again?
Are you
I wasn't paying attention.
paddling towards the island,
I'm
or are you with Aaron on his houseboat just outside the island?
I would
Still in
say
international waters.
more probable. I'm probably with Aaron on the houseboat, just in a real life scenario. I'm probably just hanging out with him. But
All right, it's a pretty sweet island.
That's
I just
pretty
wanna let you
fair,
know. There's no like dangerous creatures or anything.
well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
That's the thing. I'm not a big.
okay,
I'm
so
not a big
Rick-
guy on like bugs.
Rick
Yeah,
Nash,
no, not a lot of bugs here.
Rick
Turns out.
Nash in that
Zero
game
humidity.
had 1 goal, 1 assist.
Okay, 2 points. I dig
He
it.
was a -1.
What? In a game that they won by 4 goals?
He was a -1.
What
And then Crosby was
Had to
he
be.
was an even. He got no up down. He
Yeah.
scored no goals, no assists,
All right, so this.
but he
this
had 4
sounds-
shots on goal.
I just wanna say this sounds a little bit biased.
Just saying.
Because-
sort of like Rick Nash was
I
the
don't
better player.
understand how you can have 1 goal and an assist and finish with a lower plus minus than a guy who has.
That means they scored 3 goals while you were on the ice.
Well, I play a lot, so it's not my fault. Rick Nash, that's his answer to that.
I'm racking minutes.
Yeah,
okay.
bro.
I'm ice
So
time.
that should say to you that yes, he does give you offense, but what does he give you on defense?
is he
Aaron,
hurting you?
I don't know if you know this about me. I don't care. If he's gonna score 9, if he's gonna help you score 9 goals, I am all for Rick Nash.
Hey,
Hey, did I mention that we're building a statue for him on the island?
Hey, but you know what else was great? 505 yards in the Super Bowl. You gotta get stops. Like, you gotta get stops sometimes.
You want to know the difference, though?
Granted, they won that game 8-4. Okay,
You wanna know
so I'm
the
gonna take
difference?
that out from
They
underneath
won.
you. Yeah,
They won.
Pull that
And the
rug out.
Pats lost.
Okay, fair enough.
That's why you have a goalie who can do like elbow stands.
Mild elbow stands. Not bad.
He needs just one support hand. That's it.
Speaking of the Patriots, right? They picked up Kenny Britt's option. Interesting.
Yeah.
What's that mean for Amendola?
He's taking a pay cut.
He's gonna make half of a container of McDonald's fries.
So instead of making $2 million this year,
Yeah.
he's going to make
He
0.5.
he was getting like the large, and they're
Yeah.
like, "We're gonna need you downgrade you to a medium.
If
you
anyone
can't
saw-
be asking for larges."
If anyone saw the YouTube video, the from the old 4-Star Sports Bar channel with Kevin and I think Danny Amendola is getting paid in Burger King cheesy tots. That's what I think, because they're not good.
No,
They're not good.
Do you think they downgraded him from McDonald's fries
To
cheesy
Burger King
tots?
cheesy
Oh,
tots.
wow.
Yeah.
Sounds awful.
That's
Onion
what it's-
rings, the Burger King onion rings.
Well, that's a tough one with the sauce.
Definitely
It's a lot
not chicken fries. He's definitely not getting paid in chicken fries.
No,
that's a premium.
That's a pay raise. That's
what Edelman gets.
That's the benefit.
That's what it might be. What Kenny Britt gets, actually.
Kenny Britt's is probably chicken fries.
He's
right
got
now.
chicken fries. Amendola's got
Right.
cheesy tots.
Yeah, regular fries.
Edelman makes like Five Guy fries.
Did you also see that there's that it's basically like not confirmed, but from all reports that they're not going to bring in a defensive coordinator?
Yeah,
that their defensive linebacker coach Flores there,
Flores
is going to be the defensive play caller.
Yeah.
Hold on,
But with basically Belichick looking over his shoulder, going, "I don't like that. Change that."
I'm confused by this because
That's what he does anyway.
if you call the plays
Yeah.
and you sit in on the defensive meetings,
Right.
you run the defensive meetings.
aren't you kind of the defensive
You
coordinator?
just don't pay him.
Yeah.
You don't
You
have
just
to
pay him like
him.
a linebacker
That's
coach?
exactly
Well, it's-
what it is.
For
He's
one
under
year,
contract as a linebacker coach.
For 1 year, you don't have. You can pay him.
I think they did this with Patricia actually.
Yeah, you.
Yeah.
Well, you make him prove that, hey, okay, you can do it.
It's
And then-
probably if he's the defensive coordinator, he gets Belichick obviously has the final say on anything, but it's a little bit more leash when you're the defensive coordinator by name. I'm not going to double check everything you do. Whereas
if you're
the linebackers coach who's
acting,
calling plays, you're probably right. Belichick's like, "You sure you want to do that? I see what you're doing." But maybe send one other guy in a blitz or something like that.
That's do you remember the play that was on the sound effects or mic'd up or whatever from last year where special teams coach Bill says, "Hey, what are you thinking?" to Pius, right? Who's the special teams coach, and he's like, "Oh, we're just gonna boot it through the end zone." He goes, "Nope, make him run it." Or whatever, and he's like, "Okay." So then he yells out "Hey, make him run!" So they kick it to the 1 or right at the goal line, and then they get a fumble on the return, and then Pius "You're the best." We get
I know.
It's just so funny because Bill goes to him, "Hey, what are you thinking? We're gonna boot it." "Nope, make him run it." He's like, "Okay," whatever. Just instantly, he knew what they were gonna do. You know what I mean? But he just asked him, "Hey, what are you thinking?" "You're wrong. You're an idiot. We're gonna."
I also think he likes to
I
pick
wanted to
people's
see if
brains.
you were
Right.
that much of an idiot.
Yeah,
That's what he's doing.
Exactly.
Hey, are
what
you as
thinking?
dumb as I think you are?
Right.
Yeah, you are. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Do what I say.
Well, here's the other thing. I was thinking about it today before I read that article. I was like, you know who they could have gotten to come in and be their defensive coach? And it would be that total, just this season's Belichick sitting across the, him and Kraft are sitting across the field with just it hanging out at Indy. If they had just picked up, Chuck Pagano to be their defensive coordinator. Because that's what he was.
Right.
Just hey, we're also going to get your old head coach.
Right.
So now we know everything that you do.
Just full mass. Robert Kraft standing in the owner's booth I fucking
Naked.
hate the Colts.
Naked.
This is unequivocally the best defensive coordinator.
How drunk are you, Rob? I haven't had anything to drink. No single.
I'm fucking
I haven't had a drop.
I'm sober. I'm unequivocally the most sober I've ever been.
They could have done the thing that I've always wanted them to do,
Get Rex Ryan.
and that's bring Rex Ryan to be your defensive
I'm with
coordinator.
you. I'm with you there.
I've always wanted Rex Ryan to come be the defensive coordinator for the Pats.
I 1 trillion times agree with you. I have always wanted that. I just wanted to see Bill and Rex in a meeting. Can you fuck off?
Imagine
And then
that-
Rex is "Hey, we're the best defense in the world." He's like,
Imagine that conversation that Bill had with the special teams coordinator, but with Rex Ryan. Just what do you think you're doing? What do you think about doing here? Yeah, I'm going to send the house. No, you're not. No, Rex, we've been over this.
we're gonna blitz everybody. Bill fucked
I've
up.
asked you that question 5 times in a row. You've answered the same way all 5 times. We're going to play zone. We're going to rush 3.
Right, we're up 50.
Yeah, that's what I said, Bill. You said rush the house. How is that the same?
We're up 7. They're at the 2. Let's just smooth it over.
See, the best part would be is if Rex said, "All right, we're gonna send Hightower on this one."
Yeah.
What? He's like, "Yeah, we're gonna send the house. We're gonna send Hightower." And then I'm like, "No, you're not. We're gonna play." He's like, "Bill, sending one extra guy is more than 3.
Right.
So that's our version of the house."
It's a wild blitz for you guys.
But I think that's what I was going to say. The only reason why he would never bring in Rex, Rex does way too many, like...
Man blitz things.
No, it's just, like, he's very, like, go out there and fuck him up. And Belichick's like, stay back.
Right,
Be cautious.
yeah.
Whereas if, like, he allows the defensive player to, like, Rex to go out there and just go fucking
pin his ears
crazy.
back.
Yeah, imagine that. All right, Rex, we're going to play it safe here. You know, we got a big lead. It's like 3rd and 15. All right, yeah, I got you, Bill.
Send the house.
Guys,
KG.
we're gonna blitz 8. Not Bill said play it safe. Blitz 8.
8, not 9.
Rex,
Or just
what are you
like,
doing?
What are you?
Bill, I put 3 in coverage. What do you want from me?
What is it? What's it called? What's that play? Just call it Dick. Go.
just fucking Malcolm, go. Like, Malcolm's not here. Why are you yelling that?
But what was the defense that he had where he was like
Brady would keep the
he was
call.
yelling that on the sidelines? He's like, send them all. Yeah, what is it called? Just call it Dick.
Oh, yes.
Isn't that Rex? Rex did that call
I think so.
on the sideline.
So. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Brady would keep that call. The pregame Rex Ryan.
Rex
Rex
Ryan.
Ryan. He'd keep
He'd
that
like-
in.
yeah,
With
he'd
Rex
point
on the
at
team.
Rex on the sideline.
Rex Ryan.
Does Brady want something from me? No, it's just a call, Rex.
Hey, guys, my defensive coordinator is Rex Ryan.
Well, Rob Ryan
was on the Patriots.
was a defensive. Well,
Yeah, he was a defensive backs coach.
Yeah, he was. I know
Many,
him
many
and
moons
Bill
ago.
had a
Yeah.
relationship. Also,
awful.
I was reading. I listened to Michael Holley, former guest of the program.
Yep. Formerly on WEI.
Yeah.
He's not on Fox, by the way. Also another retraction. He's on NBC Sports Boston TV.
Okay.
That's what he's doing.
I was listening to his book War Room,
Yeah.
which. Hold on, gonna give myself a shout out here.
yeah.
Gonna give myself a shout out
I was
here.
thinking the same thing last week when you said this.
This book, War Room, was not an Audible book.
Yeah.
You could not
Now
get
it
the
is.
audio version.
You called him out on it.
I called him out on it on the interview.
He said he'll see what he can do.
It came out in 2017.
Yeah.
It was recorded. The book came out in like 2011.
Right.
And at the end of the audiobook, it said this audiobook was recorded in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
So he literally got on the line and said, "Hey,
Right.
you need to fix this.
We need to do this.
because I called it out."
Right.
So if you guys listen to that, it's because of me.
Right. You're welcome.
I'm taking 100%. Michael Howie, he's on the island with me, just for that.
I have a similar story, not about Michael Holley, but the day that Tom Brady's suspension was overturned, like the second time, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, before they finally reverted back, but the time before that, I messaged Snapchat, like Team Snapchat or whatever, and I was like, you guys need to have a free Brady, like, whatever they call that.
Yeah, filter.
Filter, yeah, filter. I was like, you need to have a free Brady filter. And then I Snapchat, I was like, guys, everyone message Team Snapchat and let them know they need to have a free Brady filter. In 1 hour and 15 minutes, I go to Snapchat again, I swipe over, there's a free Brady filter on that day. And I was like, I don't know
Take
that it
credit.
was me,
Take
but
credit,
I'm pretty
Joe.
sure.
I'm taking credit for the Holly book
Yeah.
that I was listening to.
Do you regret it?
And what?
Do you regret making them do a audible version of it?
I regret the person they chose to do it.
That's what I
because-
mean.
Because he
That's what I
called
mean.
Teddy Bruschi Teddy Bruschi.
Which is pretty funny.
There are blatant mispronunciations of people's names in that book. Except he completely nails Nnamdi Asomugha.
Which is still such a wild
Yeah.
thing.
But I was listening to that book, and you know the infamous loss, the Peyton Hillis loss to the Browns, the Eric Mangini loss?
Yep.
Yep.
I gotta give credit to Eric Mangini, that motherfucker. You know what he did?
What's that?
He said, "All right, I got all my players on the Browns defense. You're all gonna play different positions. So even if you're my strong safety and you're my free safety for this week, you're my free safety and you're my strong safety, and you're my third corner and you're my first corner and you're my He made them all change their roles. So their middle linebacker was actually their right outside linebacker. And you want to know why he did that? So when Brady gets to the line and he goes, so and so is the mic, or so and so is this.
Oh, yeah.
He's wrong because he's not actually playing that. He's playing the right outside linebacker.
Right. I got you.
And that's why they struggled against Cleveland.
That's
Well, it's
Because he was like,
because
I know,
Mangini
I
knows
know
how
what
they
you
do
want.
it.
I
Yeah.
know what you want to do, and I'm going to make it impossible for you to read this. I was like,
That's great.
God damn it,
That's
that
what
guy
you gotta
is
do.
fucking smart.
yeah.
And then Peyton Hillis ran for 750 yards
Yep.
in one game.
Set the all-time record.
Just rush for
I did that once.
Yeah.
With one of my friends. He played. This is like 2005. So when they still had like the Ravens still had
Jamal Lewis. Yeah.
He was like, Aaron, just whoever gets close, pick them and like fall them off.
Yeah.
And I would just keep dropping the guys back.
Yeah.
And I think he ran for like 900 yards in the game. And I was like,
Jesus
that's
Christ.
ridiculous.
That's nuts. That's a
I
wild
mean, you
thing.
rigged it. So
Well, speaking of
He was tired.
options being picked up and not picked up, Alan Branch
Yeah,
not picked up.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
This plays into well, Joe and I being on the same side and you being very optimistic about what we were saying.
Yeah.
Trading Gronk. I had a conversation today, and this
That's
is
right. Yeah.
I've just gone deeper into it. Whereas if
You're like all the way bought
yes,
in now.
all
Okay,
bought
all right.
in
All right.
because
you
this
know how we have that thing about
invested.
we have that thing about conspiracy theories where people you walk into like someone's garage and it's like all newspaper clippings and like photos and like red string.
That's
tacked
what's happening
to
in Aaron's
that's
house
what-
right
it's
now.
my
And
head.
You guys can't see it, but Aaron's entire living room wall is covered with newspaper clippings of Gronk and red string.
and ESPN trade machine
Yeah.
screenshots.
Yes.
And, yeah,
Yes.
right.
Yes.
So my thought is trade Gronk
Okay.
first and a second
Yep.
to whomever
Right.
this year,
Buffalo.
whoever.
Okay. All right. I just want
Listen,
to see if
do
you. I just want
not-
to see if you fret. That's
Nope.
all. Okay.
Nope. Do not trade him to
Still
Buffalo.
don't have a quarterback to get him the ball, and
I mean, you could just throw it in the general area of Gronk.
I don't want to face him.
What's
twice,
his name?
but-
Peterman.
Peterman.
He
yeah, no,
He doesn't throw a lot of
you
interceptions.
could kill him. This is
if he
just
throws it to
let me
Gronk.
finish.
Okay. Yeah. I'm
Let
sorry.
me
I'm sorry.
finish.
I didn't mean to.
So you
derail
trade him.
Yeah.
You think you get that big of a return? First and
That's
second?
what I'm getting if I'm trading Rob Gronkowski.
In Aaron's scenario, first and second comes back.
It has to be a first and a second.
Gotcha.
There's already talks that they want
Graham.
Jimmy Graham.
Yeah.
Get Jimmy Graham.
Yeah.
Now you have 2 firsts, 2 or 3 second round picks.
You'd have 3 seconds. Yeah.
You know Belichick's going to trade one of the firsts. He's going to trade one of the seconds.
Also something I
so
learned from War
trade
Room.
up, get one of those defensive players that you really fucking want. A defensive end, a defensive tackle because you already letting Branch go.
Yeah.
Or you go out and get that stud safety, like Joe was saying, the kid out of Alabama.
Yeah.
You go out and get that guy. And you just say, all right, we're going to let fucking Chung go. Like, we're going to make a
Right.
valiant decision that we're getting a little bit younger and we're going to bring in talent, finally. Now you still have a first. All right, you traded up, you got rid of one of your firsts, and you drafted a first.
Right.
You still have 2 second-round picks. Now you can draft offensive and defensive linemen, and you can start rebuilding your team.
Yeah.
That's what they need to do.
So the Rob Gronkowski trade is the cure-all.
I think.
I mean, in this scenario, right? Yeah.
I think you could but the linchpin is if you can get Graham. Yes, is Gronkowski better than Graham?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is Graham going to give you as much offensively, like not
As a
take out
blocking tight end.
take out the blocking, just purely on pass catching,
Yeah.
pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Is Marty
Healthier.
Bennett back?
He's
There's
wants
been
to,
some talk that,
and
I
he's
guess
still
that
under
he's
contract.
interested.
If Marty Bennett is back,
You got them both.
yeah, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
There is a problem I
It's not
have.
a bad scenario.
There is a problem I have with your thing though.
What's that?
You trade Gronk.
Yep.
I don't think you get a first and second back. I think you might get a first, like a late first, right?
I need a first and a second. If it's a late first, it better be a late second then. Or at least a high
But let's
third.
say they do get a first and a second.
Yeah.
I would not trade down.
I wouldn't trade down.
I wouldn't trade up.
trade
I wouldn't.
up.
I wouldn't trade up because I am a huge draft guy. I'm a huge
Modern day Mel Kiper over
yeah.
here.
I love the draft. I don't watch a lot of college football, but I follow draft and the draft guys religiously.
Yeah.
The defensive lineman and defensive end class in this draft is awful. It is horrendously bad. They have like for pass rushers, they have a top guy, and then it falls off a fucking cliff.
So then trade up and get like the
I
best
wouldn't
left
trade up.
tackle.
I would either sit pat with, and the other thing I learned from the War Room book is every time Belichick has had multiple first round picks,
Yeah. He's traded up.
he's selected with the first one and traded the late one every time.
Oh, up until 2011, yeah.
Yeah.
Because Chandler Jones and Dante Hightower year, he traded up twice.
Yeah, that was also the year the book came out. So
Right, yeah,
I don't think that was included.
Yeah.
But up until that point, yeah, he'd always selected the first time
Yeah.
and then traded back with the other one.
Yeah.
I think you either stay back or you follow that same, like, select with the first one and trade back the second one. Or you just straight up trade the picks for a guy who's already in the league.
That's, yeah.
I mean, that's an
Because-
option, but I just, how Belichick is, he doesn't, like, last year trading for frickin' Cooks, that's like an anomaly.
Is an anomaly, but also he started to trend in that way where he's been taking guys that are on their rookie contracts
Still,
via
yeah.
trade. So it's like he'll, as opposed to spending a draft pick on a rookie, he's spending a draft pick on a guy that's like with 1 or 2 years left on his rookie deal,
And you already know what they are.
and he's a proven player. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I
So then who, like, that's what I'm saying. If you can go out and get that left
I
tackle.
would rather him do
I want
that.
them to go out and get that left tackle.
Dude, I would draft a tackle. Like, I the only thing I disagree with you on is drafting a defensive lineman. Because it's
or
a weak
using
class.
the draft class. To
I wouldn't trade up for a defensive lineman. I would trade up for a defensive back.
Well,
like
so
you
saying,
said, with Minka
yeah.
Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
Or an offensive lineman. Because this is a good offensive lineman
That's
class.
what I mean. Like, if you can trade up and get the guy you want, and then you still have all those later picks to pick up pieces to build, to bolster that offensive, and you
I
do
just
need
don't know if
help
you have
on
to-
defense.
I just don't know if you have to trade up for it. You might be able to get
Maybe. I'm just saying
It's really
it gives
deep.
you that option.
It's a very thin class at defensive line this year, but it's very deep at like interior offensive line and defensive back is like insanely deep this year. Like you might be able to get a starting corner in the 3rd round. This
Also, tight end.
year. Tight end.
It's
There
a
is
really good tight end class.
Dallas Goedert or Goedert is they say is like he's
That
a
guy.
all around obvious best tight end in the draft.
You know what I want him to do? I
Probably
want him to
going late
trade
first.
Rob Gronkowski to the Browns for the number 1 pick, and they draft Saquon Barkley. That's
all
what
of those
I want.
things you just said aren't going to happen.
You're absolutely right, but that's what I want in my scenario. I really want.
The
'cause I think
Browns
we
literally just drafted a tight end in the 1st round last year.
yeah,
Or the 2nd round. One of the two.
neither here nor there. Okay,
It's not Gronk.
I want Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, everyone does.
Fucking want him.
Everyone wants Saquon Barkley.
They're gonna lose Lewis.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that like thing from his combine?
Yeah.
Where it's like he benched more than Joe Thomas, he jumped higher than Julio Jones, he ran faster than
It's like the Adelius Thomas thing.
it was insane. Like
deep cut. But.
Yeah, but this is true. This is true.
Yeah.
He benched more. I know he benched more than Joe Thomas. I know he jumped higher than Julio Jones. And then he ran faster than another wide receiver that's fucking fast.
Right.
And he like did something else.
What was
There's
the
4 stats?
What was the truth behind the deal? He had the most in his position.
He was the fastest linebacker or something.
Fastest
like
linebacker,
But
and I
you-
think he had the most reps at his position.
You said he
too.
ran like the fastest 40 at the combine.
Yeah. That is true. That is what I said.
And he ran like a 4 or 5.
That's what I heard.
Something.
That's the
no,
information I was
I thought it
given.
was like a 4.63 or something like
Yeah,
that.
it was like the
not
fastest
good.
interior linebacker
Right.
40.
Yeah. That's a you know what? When you're
When
handed
you're rolling,
bad
when
information,
you're rolling.
when you're handed bad information and you let that seed stay, it fucking just comes out next time.
If I could run a 4.6,
yeah.
I'd be happy with that.
If I could run like 4 or 6 yards without being out of breath, I would appreciate that.
I ran 7.2.
Really?
That was my 40 time. 7 seconds. No, I wasn't injured.
I
I
think
like how you followed that up.
I think
wasn't
I
hurt.
think I ran one at my biggest at 330 pounds, and that was like 6.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd be
that's
interested
bad.
to see what I do. I think
It's bad.
I'm sneaky quick. The
I'm
one
long
thing-
distance.
a lot of people-
I got stamina, baby.
A lot of people underestimate my speed. It's true. When I played softball, a lot of people said that when getting to first, would be like, "You're fucking faster than you look," and I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "You look like a fat pig rolling around," and they're like, but you actually got a little bit of life to you.
You know who ran? Fucking Roger Goodell
Yeah.
ran like a 5.4 40
Yeah.
in a suit.
In a suit.
And-
He had sneakers on.
That's unfair.
He did put sneakers on.
He
but
was like 0.2 seconds slower than Tom Brady.
Yeah, which is a wild thing.
at his age
At
in a full suit.
50-something years old.
Right.
Here's the thing,
I don't
though.
think I could run a 5.4.
But was the AC on? Was it wind aided?
Yeah. Was it blowing at his back?
You could have put a jet engine behind me.
Right.
You could have attached a jet engine to me. I probably don't run a 5.4.
That's tough.
I could get a car. You could put me in a car and just say
I don't think I could drive 40 yards
drive
in
a
5
40-yard
seconds.
dash. I couldn't do it in 5 seconds.
That's pretty good. Yeah, so Alan Branch not being picked up, not a surprise necessarily.
I think he just got his lunch taken from him. I think the other guys just played good enough that they just decided they didn't need Alan Branch.
And probably guys that were younger
That's
than
hard
him
to say after they
worked
just
out
got
harder.
fucking demolished in the Super Bowl. It's hard to say they just didn't need Alan Branch, but
Yeah.
I think that was more of a secondary thing than a offensive line thing. Or defensive line thing.
Yeah, I agree with you. I would have much rather, if Malcolm Butler wasn't going to play, then fucking play Alan Branch.
Yeah, don't
You know
at
what I
least
mean?
don't let him run.
Yeah, why are you sitting on basically just a useless roster spot when Alan Branch could have played?
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. I don't like talking about the Super Bowl anymore. Okay, that's forever banned.
You're
I'm not talking
gonna
about
be
that.
upset when Malcolm Butler's a Jet.
No.
It'll be really funny if I can't wait. I actually can't wait for the Jets fans. I can't wait for Malcolm Butler to sign with the Jets and then get chirped by a Jets fan, and then Brady throws 3 touchdowns Malcolm Butler's way, just like first game of the year.
Yeah.
They open up against the Jets. Just Tom Brady just picks on Malcolm Butler all day, and then I can chirp back.
There you go.
See, the one thing I want to see the Patriots do, and I really hope, I think they did put out the schedule, right? Like, they didn't put out the schedule, but they put out
Sign
the
Richard
opponents.
Sherman
opponents.
and
Yeah,
Akeem
yeah.
Talib.
Yeah, that was another thing. I think you mentioned
I
it to
want
me.
both of them. Is
That
that
sounds
bad?
crazy that they had a conversation and they would love to come to New England.
Right.
I want the Pats to sign all I want a defensive backfield of Gilmore, Sherman, and Akeem Talib. Just like your slot corner is Akeem
Right.
Talib.
Yeah, that'd be
Just
ridiculous.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Throw on this
Right. That'd be ridiculous.
high little slot receiver. Have fun not getting off the line because Akeem Talib's going to pressure you to the ground.
He's just going to take your chain while he's at it.
You're just
like-
going to turn. He's going to turn to throw. The quarterback's going to turn to throw, and it's just going to be Akeem Talib bouncing the dude's head off the ground like a basketball.
You've seen the Madden, I guess you call it glitch or whatever, where everyone, like on a running play, every offensive blocker knocks over the defensive guy.
No.
Like, so it just happens, like where everyone just falls over at the same time. So the field's just wide open, and it just happens randomly. I think some of the updates may have patched it or whatever, but you would see the inverse of that with the secondary. Like, we're just no one. Everyone's just
all the wide receivers just fall over.
just
at the
fall
start
over
of a play.
backwards, and they're like, he's like, all my guys are down.
Would Bill
Just
would
like,
Bill
what?
ever call anything but press man? He would just be like, "We're gonna press man
Right.
the entire game.
Hey, what are you thinking here?
Press man."
Send the house. No, Rex, you fucking press man. That's it.
Although you're just as likely for Rex Ryan to go, "You thinking press man?" Because that's all he ever.
That's all
did.
he used to do too. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm interested to see. Combine was a slug. I don't really pay much attention to the
I
Combine.
actually didn't watch. Like, as much as I'm a draftnik, I didn't watch any of the.
I
Combine.
wanted to. I know.
I've just been like getting grades and scores and stuff from it.
I know Saquon Barkley was that guy.
Yeah, he dominated the combine. I know the one-handed wonder from UCF had
Yep.
a really good combine.
Yeah, that's
too.
what Shannon was saying. She was
Yeah.
like, "Oh my god, like he had a." I was like, should he be allowed to wear a hook? And
Right,
she's
yeah,
like,
something.
"What?" And I was like,
That
"Like,
would be
well, I said to her, no."
It'd be awesome if he had a
It
hook.
just stabs the ball.
Well, no, like a rubber one. Like,
No,
all right,
no,
yeah.
metal,
metal
hook
Captain
with a
Hook
very
hook.
sharp edge.
well, no, because and I said to her, because
Interception,
well,
and the ball is
she goes,
flat.
"That's not fair." And I said to her, I was like, "Hold on 1 second.
Right.
He can't grab anything.
Right.
2,
He
you're
caught.
you're
He caught
allowed
really well.
you're allowed to wear a fucking cast
Club.
on your
Yeah, yeah.
hand
Yeah.
that they make bigger so you can use it as like
Well,
a fucking club."
When
Right.
he did the bench
That's
press,
kinda what he has.
he did the bench press. He put up like 20 something reps. He used a prosthetic hand
Yeah.
to hold the bar.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and he was making catches. Like, just
I mean,
crazy.
you only need one hand and that nub.
Yeah, just fucking just.
It's just like a Tyree helmet.
Right,
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
that's it.
Just,
Yeah. This is a rabbit hole. I don't know. I don't know if I want to go down that road.
you know what's
but-
funny is so he's been projected as like a late second, third, fourth round, like kind of like special teamer,
Yeah.
already been like mocked to the pass. Like,
wow.
he had a good combine. How was his 3-cone drill?
Exactly. Yeah. What was
How'd
the
he do
shuttle?
playing lacrosse for UCF?
Right.
Well, would you also see that they did like a stat out of like the 300 and some odd people that Belichick's talked to over the years at like the combines?
Yeah.
Is that like he's only drafted one? Like they publicly stated, the Patriots publicly stated they talked to him.
Yeah.
One guy, and it was like Shaq. It was like no, it was Flowers or something like that. It's like one guy, and it's like some random player, and they're like, so he talked to one guy,
Right.
Everyone else, and he like, I think it's part of the test. Also, is like, did you talk to the Patriots? I mean, I talked to a lot of teams.
Right.
Like, will you do a Belichick answer?
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. I'm excited. I hope they pick me. Like,
Yeah.
Cross him off the board? Yeah.
Take that guy off the board.
Take him off the board.
Yeah.
Hey,
No, Casario.
Hey,
take him off.
Casario, what were we going to do here? Were we going to draft him? Nope. We're
Send the
crossing him off
house
the board. Yeah.
Casario, you're the GM.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Oh, Rex told me to say that. I'm sorry.
Ernie Adams, what were you thinking? Draft
stripes.
him. Nope.
Pink stripes.
Cross him off.
That's what Rex. That's
Oh,
what
the big- yeah,
That's
yeah.
what Ernie Adams is always thinking.
Yeah,
Pink
the
stripes.
pink stripes. That's it.
Whatever that means.
So that's really it for the Patriots. Just get into
Yeah.
free agency here soon.
See
and
what
fucking-
happens.
What's that? March 12th? 15th?
Very soon. I think
15th,
it's
something
next
like
Well, like,
week
doesn't
or-
like the and the Pittsburgh. They franchised Bell again.
Franchise Bill.
We'll see if he signs it. Did he sign it? I don't think he can sign it yet.
Not yet. Not until
Can't say-
the
can't sign
season
yet.
starts.
They said
right?
that he is not going to retire.
Free agency starts, I think.
No, I'm saying, but like not until like the league year,
Yeah, the league
official
year
league
starts,
year
yeah.
starts.
It's like
Like
the
you can't
15th.
sign it until
Yeah.
then.
Yeah. They said that his agent said he's not going to retire because he was quoted as saying before, if they franchise me, I'm retiring. He's not going to retire, but he might take a few weeks off. So he'll hold out.
And
Yeah,
then
so
he'll
he'll do
get a
what
very slow start to the season like he did this year.
Right.
He'll do what,
Maybe Joe's fantasy field goal tip is you still draft left Bell.
The extra
It
point.
doesn't matter.
or you just do, or you just do like a JD Martinez. Like I don't know where he is.
Right. He just went missing. That was a creepy thing for a while. Speaking of JD Martinez, there's no Red Sox news until the baseball season starts.
I mean,
I haven't flip flop back.
Hanley's batting shitty in like I predicted.
Is he?
He's batting 125 in the in the Grapefruit League, but Bogarts,
How many games has he played?
I don't know.
What does that bat like?
Bogarts, I think it's Bogarts, Benintendi, and Devers are all over 400.
Which is wild.
Did you guys see the Mets gave Tim Tebow the cleanup spot against Max Scherzer and he got struck out in like 40 seconds? 3 straight pitches?
What?
Yeah. Tim Tebow they had Tim Tebow batting cleanup for the Mets in spring training and he went up against Max Scherzer and Max Scherzer legit struck him out with 3 straight pitches. It was like less than a minute at bat.
Jesus Christ.
I think that's
And
why.
like 90% of that minute was like Tim Tebow praying to hit the ball. Like
See,
literally praying on it.
But see, that's the thing is, like, that's why I think, like, people, like, as much as, like, you can't really think about it that way, you have to, like, be in utter awe of, like, a Bo Jackson and, like, a Deion Sanders that could do them both.
Yeah, Michael Jordan.
Right.
At a high level. Yeah. The difference is, though, both those guys made the actual pro team. Michael Jordan never made it to the pros.
Hey,
Julie, hey.
He rode
quick
the
note,
bus.
Henry Ramirez, if
Yeah.
I have to be the Henry Ramirez apologist on this podcast, I fucking will be, okay? He's 2 for 16.
Okay.
All right? Batting 125, just like you said.
Yep.
He scored both times he got on base. The
Okay.
man's a run machine. Okay? Get him on, he's scoring. That's all I'm
100%
saying.
of the time.
That's all I'm
100%
saying.
of the time he hits a base, he scores.
I don't know of another person that has an exact fucking 100% hit-run ratio. You tell me. You figure that out. That's not my job.
You know what that's called, Aaron? Sabermetrics.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Moneyball.
And he's also got a walk, so he's like really like 3 for 17, which isn't too bad. That's
Moneyball.
Dave.
Right.
Moneyball.
That's a
Dave.
little better than 1.6 right there.
I bet you he works those counts, though.
You know what?
He's building those pitch counts.
Yeah. And how many pitches has he taken? Where's that stat? Huh?
What's his
Fucking-
war?
Just, I'm telling guys, you make fun. When he's healthy all year because he's on that TB12 diet
Yeah.
and he's going nuts. Okay, he's got a new body, new swing. He's 15 pounds lighter. This is what spring training's for. This is what spring training's all about. Get your swing, find yourself. That's it.
You really are the Hanley Ramirez
That's
apologist on this show.
I am. I will be
I
till the
also
day
just
I die.
don't look in put any stock
Into spring training stats.
No, I just think it's funny that like I
No, you're
did
right,
call
you're
him a dog and he's dogging it in spring training.
Yeah.
The problem is he thinks he's David Ortiz where he can just turn it on and he doesn't.
Yeah.
He does for like a month and then dies.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, I think really
You really are trying to swing this, dude.
that's it. We'll see. A couple weeks, I'll do a fucking hand rams corner. Fucking, we'll do. It's gonna be like Tice Talk.
Hand ram.
It'll be the hand ram minute.
It's gonna be the ham.
Now,
ram
I'm not
minute.
saying Dave's right, but if we come back to the show next week and he still has 100% hit to run ratio,
I'm gonna look at you and laugh.
I'm just gonna say.
I'm like, yeah, no,
because he's probably
got-
still 2 for.
was gonna
He's
say,
2 for 24.
No, if he's like 4 for 105, but all 4 of those times he scored a run.
What if he's 2 for 24 next week, and he's still 2 for 2? Like he
Dave?
still scored on
Dave,
both.
does he still have 100% hit to run
That's
ratio?
what I'm saying. I mean, you got to hang your hat on something.
Then you know what? He's electric.
He's kind of like the Marcus Smart, just like the intangibles. You can't quite figure it. You can't put your finger on it.
Yeah,
but
the
he thinks
intangibles
so.
like hitting.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like, but or just scoring
No,
every time
like,
you get on.
like hitting at a reasonable rate.
He was the fucking DH last year.
kinda.
Most DHs bat 125
Yeah.
and score 100% of the time.
That's true. That's true.
It's
Making
just
my
so
point.
hard
If
to
he's,
root
if
for
he's,
that.
if you, would you say if he's 2 of 24?
Yeah. Next week.
What if he's 3 of 24, but he scores a run?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Oh, then it's autumn.
I mean, it's clear cut.
So he's just automatic.
Not
I'm
only,
not really worried
not
about it.
only
That's a Hall of Fame
if we
career
come
right
back,
there.
If we come
Worried
back,
about
if
his
we come
level.
back next week and he's 3 of 24, but he scored a run on all 3 of those hits, he's the best player on the team.
It's got to be. He has to be.
And the thing is, that just means he's getting knocked in. It just literally doesn't mean
It also means
He got hit by a pitch 3 times.
all 3 of those hits. All 3 of those hits are singles. It just means that he got knocked in. The people behind him are batting well. That's all it means.
Devers.
yeah.
He's
Whatever.
got
Isn't
the,
that what we said? Devers needs to hit better.
he's got the base
Yeah.
path intangibles.
Well,
then we get a full
he needs
year
to
of
figure.
Devers.
Yeah, you need
Yeah,
to
yeah.
figure out what Devers is.
Right,
You
right.
need Bogarts to hit better, which he is.
Right.
We
In
can just
spring training,
only
and
hope they
Benintendi
score.
as well.
Right.
Like you need those 3 guys
Right,
to
right.
figure it out, and then also Betts to figure out what he's not doing.
Are you going
as
to be
well.
the MVP or just the best player on a bad team?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's what we're going to
We can
find
just
out.
only hope they score as efficiently as Hanley Ramirez.
It's true.
Do-
100% of the time.
Now, if say hypothetically they say,
Undebatable.
"Listen, we want to have the best pitching staff in the league.
Yeah.
We're going to take a couple of our players." Do you take a Betts and a Devers and go out and get
Max Scherzer.
yeah, or what's his name from the Washington?
Bryce Harper.
No, not just Bryce Harper.
Okay.
Max Scherzer.
The other pitcher.
Oh, Strasburg.
Strasburg.
Yeah, yeah.
Listen, we're just going to come out and we're just going to throw gas.
Yeah, you know what's funny was last week we were talking
He's like,
about...
I'm not going to acknowledge that
No,
trade.
no, I know, I hear it. Last week, there's a moment where we were talking about the Red Sox adding pitching. Like, what if they
Yeah.
go get a guy? And you said, fuck it, they just go all in and go get the guy from Washington. And I said, Strasburg? And you said, no, Bryce Harper. Fuck it, just get more offense. And I was like, oh, okay. And in my mind, I'm thinking, I thought we were talking about getting pitching.
Yeah, yeah.
And then this week you said, they need to go get a pitcher, trade in this guy. And I'm like, oh, Bryce Harper? Fucking... What is wrong with us?
It's okay, Dave.
And then I was like,
I'm out there. I'm out there.
That's okay.
You started
my
thinking
fault.
how I normally do. It's
I was
okay.
like, oh, he means Bryce Harper.
He was like, they need to go out there and get a pitcher, and he was like, and I was like, Max Scherzer. He's
Yeah.
like, no, the guy from Washington. I was like, yeah,
Max
Scherzer.
Yeah, no, Strasburg. That's so funny.
God,
That's
think about
the
that. I forgot that they're both on the same team.
That's the exact.
That's because
moment,
Strasburg
just
can never
reversed.
stay healthy.
Yeah, so give me Max Scherzer instead.
Yeah,
Fuck
I know.
True.
Fuck Strasburg.
So this has been your Red Sox talk because there's really nothing else. It's just, hey, what if they?
What
add
if we
pitching?
trade for that guy?
Right. So
Isn't what's his name still on the market?
Marietta,
Yeah.
as far as I know.
the thing is, I am not on an island with the Red Sox, but I am, as of right now,
On a dinghy, rowing towards
I'm all in.
Are you on a J Dinger?
It's like a Red Sox peninsula. It's surrounded by island water on 3 sides,
Right.
but not an island.
You're like at the Cape.
Yeah.
Right, okay,
It's
I
just
gotcha.
like an archipelago. I don't know what that is. To be honest with you. I think that's a series of islands.
Yeah.
So it's not any of that.
Is
It's
that
just
like
a
St.
peninsula.
Martin,
We're just gonna
like
go
a-
with the peninsula. It's I'm a Red Sox peninsula, and I have an easy way off. Just drive away from the water.
There's a bridge that takes you to.
Yeah. I
gotcha.
can easily get off the tip of the peninsula.
Yeah.
But I'm got into a fight with the Yankees fan today. It just came out of me like it was coded in my system.
Yeah, it's in your DNA.
Just like instantly just started. Like, I haven't even really been following the Red Sox offseason.
Fuck CC Sabathia.
But I instantly started telling them that he had no pitching and that JD Martinez was going to hit dingers.
Right.
And
just dingers Martinez.
Meanwhile, I was the guy saying that the Yankees are going to kill everyone. And,
right, we should blow it up and
Yeah.
we're going to be terrible.
Yeah, and I was telling this Yankees fan that his team sucked and that.
Don't tell that guy to listen to the podcast.
Why?
Because he'll lose all credit. Like, just 2 weeks ago, you weren't even sold on your own team.
Yeah, I don't really even know this guy's name, but he always chirps me about the Red. I have to drive a Yankees truck, so I get chirped all the time.
You know
he knows I'm a Red Sox fan who has to drive a Yankees truck. He's like, "Those Yankees," I'll be like, "Yankees suck."
Well, it's like the guy that delivers pallets.
Yeah.
Every time he comes in, he wants to fucking chirp me about Brady.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I
I
love
looked
that
at him.
term.
Well, I looked at him the other day.
It's caught on real quick.
He comes in and he starts in on me. Okay, not chirping. Starts in on me.
No,
all
that's
right?
fine.
No. I see how it is.
Listen,
Go ahead,
I'm all in about the chirp word. I think it perfectly describes what it is.
Now, I would say it's not even that. No, nags me. That's the word I want to use because it sounds like an old hag when he starts.
I'm going to just
But-
pretend you said chirp. It's fine.
But
Hashtag chirp.
he will start in on me,
Chirp me to my face.
and then I'll start giving him like perfect answers, like giving him all the credit in the world. Hey, your team beat me in the Super Bowl twice.
Yeah.
He's an Eagles fan? Oh, he's a Giants fan.
And just like try to like, and then when I say stuff, and then he's just like, nah, come on, the league. I'm like, if you don't want to admit
Right.
that what you're saying is just you defending your team and not acknowledging the fact that I agreed with you on all of your facts,
Right.
but the incorrect information you're trying to feed me, I'm calling you out on. We can't talk because I'm going to keep. Then I just start throwing more and more information at him.
Right.
And then he literally just shut down and stopped talking to me. And I'm like, oh, okay, we're done? All right. And then just walk away. Like,
Well,
dude, I hate that.
What you're describing is what we call in the industry body bagging. You body bag the guy, and then you got upset.
Well, he's like
about it.
65, so I mean,
You actually
pretty
body
close.
bagged him.
Pretty
You
close.
legit.
pretty close anyway. But no, I just hate that. I hate that. Like, I am by far the quietest about it.
Right. Yeah.
And then when people start in on me, and I'll take it for a certain amount of time, but then eventually I'm like, shut up.
Yeah.
Can feel the body bags tingle
Just
through
like
you.
it's
Just
like
like-
zip. Just like, all right, unzip it, open
thing
it up.
is- My body bag sense just starts tingling the moment someone's like, "Yeah, Pats looked okay yesterday." Just like instantly, like, I'm going to body bag you. You didn't say
Right.
they looked amazing.
Yeah. I'll fight
Full
you.
body bag
I'll
mode.
fight you. Me and you have had those things where it's like, I don't think they look good yesterday. You're like, what do you want him to do? He's not the guy. Like,
I do that all the time.
Right,
I call him out every time.
Yep. I remember that after it was like the first Jets game. I was like, he was like 50% completion percentage. You're like, okay, so he didn't have the best game ever. Tom Brady's going to be human. I was like, right, that's all I'm saying. He just didn't have
Just
that
saying he
good
didn't
of
have a great
game.
game.
Yeah.
That's all.
I could feel it tingling
Yeah.
instantly.
For Tom Brady, he didn't have a great game,
Right.
but for the league,
Yeah.
he had a good game.
Right, yeah, 50%. Yeah, it was okay.
Just for Tom Brady, he did.
Yeah, right. All right, let's move on.
Body
Yep.
bag.
Yep.
Hey, shh.
Would everybody please stand
No.
for the B.S.N. Network's weekly State of the Network?
Show some respect.
No.
That's it. If I ever see anyone not standing during the state of the the state of the network, I'm yanking them out of the chair.
You're not allowed to play in the XFL. If you don't stand
yeah,
during the state of
exactly.
the network, you're not allowed to play in the XFL.
Can't play next spot. You better stand. So for me, I like going first because then I normally have to piss right afterwards.
I know, because then you don't want to hear what I have to say.
It's
I
a good
get it.
time.
I
No,
got
it's
you,
not
dude.
That's
I
not
got
bad. It
you.
just works out real good. Couple things for the State of the Network. 4-Star Sports Bar Review YouTube channel.
Change the name.
It's changing names
And Facebook page.
and Facebook page.
Yeah, I got that alert.
They were changing the brand basically just to Indecently Decent because we're pretty vulgar.
Indecent exposure.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot of that. It's a lot of
Just a lot
lot of indecent
Dave
exposure.
and Kevin naked in public.
Yeah, never know what's going to happen.
It could be decent exposure.
Could be. It's decent.
You ever seen Dave? You ever seen Dave It's pretty indecent.
That's the reason why we kind of went with that name is Kevin says all the time, like, it's decent, and that's how he grades a lot of things. So we always joke about how everything is just, well, it's decent. So we are kind of indecently decent, you know. I mean, like, we're not bad, but very vulgar. A lot of our we did one video that probably won't make it to the airways because we just ripped how fat a guy was at the gas station, and like for like 5 minutes, like just totally fucking cuss this guy out.
You talk about how uncomfortable he is to be around?
No, yeah, you were uncomfortable to be around. How did that make you feel? Shout out to Rowan. So yeah, we went and did a Burger King review. We're kind of doing some drive-through, new items, types things, reviews. And that way it adds content because it's easier to do. We were able to get like 4 or 5 videos out in one day. We're running out of sports bars in the immediate area. That's not going to be kind of a hike based on both of our work schedules being crazy, like where we have to plan a whole day. So sports bars aren't completely done. They're just going to be a playlist on the Indecently Decent channel. So there'll be a sports bar reviews, and there'll be like drive-through new item reviews, and there'll be maybe some skits or just funny things, you know, prank, like the prank phone call we did on Driving Live or whatever, things like that. Everything will have its own playlist. So it's just going to be the Indecently Decent channel, which is still, the name has changed, but it still shows as 4-Star Sports Bar. I'm not sure if Google has to update that, as I did, and it just hasn't yet, or if there's more to do there. So if it seems kind of wonky right now, follow up on that
Blame
later.
Dave.
Yeah, blame Dave. Yeah, for sure. Also, yeah, the Facebook page changed.
I'm trying to make one.
Oh, for the WCP?
Yeah.
So what, you got some WCP news? You guys invaded a show, the whole King's
Yeah.
Brutal. I'm out of here. Keep talking. I don't fucking care.
We invaded Steve and Christina Jr.'s podcast. New and improved Super
Yep,
Retro
give me the whole
Throwback
name.
Review. You're screwing me up. I had
Give
it.
me the whole name.
It is the New and Improved Super Retro Throwback Review, the audio files, version 2.0.
Yes. I love the super.
It's
long
so long.
I love the super long name.
And we went on there. We talked about, me and Jerry went on there, chatted up about basically wrestling. We also talked about wrestling movies, wrestling video games. We BS'd about possible, like, a couple things about WrestleMania. He threw me a curve, asked me about our favorite 3 WrestleManias. I had lists of everything else that he was asking me. That was the only thing I didn't really get a chance to, like.
Yeah, if you guys don't know,
there's 34 WrestleManias.
If you guys don't know, Aaron is the most well-prepared nerd out of the nerds.
If I have the info ahead of time, yeah.
I am by far and away the least prepared nerd. I just kind of come in here, show up, sit down, and shoot everything off the cuff. Aaron is definitely the most. He always has stuff written down. So I can only imagine in my head what happened when you got thrown a curveball, like, you motherfucker.
Well, I was sitting there just
How did you not tell me this beforehand?
Yeah. Well, he already had given us a bunch of stuff to, like, know, and I was like, damn, man, like, this is going to be a hard conversation to try to, like, kind of shoehorn all this in. But it worked out. Like, we got it all in there, but it was like, in my head, I'm like, God damn it. Like, now I got to remember 3 out of 34 WrestleManias, which one's, like, my top 3. So I kind of just went with, like, 2 that I know. Like, I almost know most of the cards.
Yeah.
Like, I know most of, like, the actual event card. And then 1 I just threw on there because it was, like, certain moments
That's
about
hard
it.
to do, too. Like, mixing... Like, you have to remember every match that's on a specific WrestleMania.
That's what I
and
mean.
not
If I
like,
had...
Not like saying, like, oh, and it has this match, when really this match was on, like, a WrestleMania the next
Not
year.
even, or it was on, like, a Royal Rumble.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was very, like, trying to remember some of that stuff. It was like, oh, God damn it. So that worked out. Like, I figured it out. I mean, WrestleMania 3 is the greatest WrestleMania. I don't care what anybody says. But no, had a good time. Jerry seemed to enjoy himself. I enjoyed myself. Then we hit up the mall on our way home looking for some figures. I picked up a couple mystery minis and jetted home to go look at some houses. But, and Friday, I took Dave's buddy with me, John. Did our first ever episode with us about wrestling.
You can call him your buddy.
Nope.
Doesn't have to be just
He has
I mean,
he's
I met
not
him
in
through...
the inner circle.
I met John Ramos through David Dawson, and it took him up with me. We went up to Waterbury at Willie B. High School, I think it's the name of it. It was a different high school this year for WrestleFest. It was WrestleFest 22. Got to see Rey Mysterio and Flip Gordon tag team. Got to see Mick Foley made a run-in. The Young Bucks and Marty Scurll were there for autographs, but they opened the show. We're actually on the most recent episode of Being the Elite. If you look in the crowd, we're in there somewhere.
That's
like
awesome.
if you slow it down, you probably could find us. And it was pretty cool. It was a pretty good Friday night. Not as great as it was last year when you went, Dave.
Yeah.
But this year
can
was
blame-
definitely good.
You can
And
give me credit for how good it was last year. I like it.
I give Cody Rhodes and
Dave doesn't.
Cody Rhodes and Kurt Angle a lot of credit for that. And yeah,
Did you see? I'm just gonna let that one slide. Did you see? Flip Gordon posted an article from CBS, like Hollywood or LA or something out in California, about Flip Gordon being the fastest rising star in wrestling.
I mean he is right now.
Yeah, he's like really that guy. It's funny.
He's
like I seen
breaking
him at
out.
XWA a couple years ago. I know we talked about this before, or whatever. But he was like opened the show for their Royal Rumble.
Curtain jerker.
Yeah, curtain jerker. Yeah, and
That sounds like a dirty term.
yeah, that was almost the name of the wrestling podcast that we were going to do. It was Jerk the Curtain. And,
Jerk the Curtain.
Yeah, Jerk the Curtain podcast.
All right,
Or-
I think you guys would have gotten a very different crowd. than-
That or the Cheap Pop.
Cheap Pop.
The Cheap Pop Pod.
okay,
For Cheap Pop. You know what Cheap Pop is?
like a very easy pop.
It's like
Yeah,
when Shane
when you-
McMahon comes out and fucking does the fucking money dance.
or
it's like,
anytime Stone Cold's music hits or The Rock's, like it's cheap. It's you're gonna or when The Rock does. Finally, The Rock
Right.
has come back to Mississippi. Wherever
Right.
Miami, wherever
Or do you
city.
know what The Rock is cooking? That
Right,
kind of
yeah,
thing?
yeah. It's like
it's,
the crowd
you're
will
gonna
go
get
nuts.
everybody to cheer for you. So
Right.
it's a cheap pop.
It's a Cheap Pop. So we're going to call it the Cheap Pop Pod.
I you know what? I'm more with curtain jerker or jerk.
We
the
liked
Jerk the
it.
Curtain.
I just like
I
curtain
just-
jerkers.
I just
Yeah,
think
curtain
you wouldn't have got a wrestling pod,
Yeah,
like a
that's
wrestling fan base out of that.
We would have got like a home and design.
You would have
erotic-
gotten
erotic,
a
crowd.
perverted
Right.
people who like to cream themselves on curtains.
Didn't know that was a niche, but,
Yep,
but
that's-
it definitely is.
What do you always say, Dave? You
Right.
gotta really
You got to really
narrow in on that niche,
pin
and
it
my
down.
niche is people who jizz curtains.
What's really funny is that we just did the exact opposite with the 4-star sports bar thing. We're like, oh, let's just open it up.
Widen the whole
Right.
base.
Yeah, yeah. But I think we want to create more stuff. I'm not trying to come back to this, but
It's all good.
Just in this, we want to create more stuff other than that. So then it wouldn't fit. Like if we created something that's like, this isn't sports bar, they're not rating anything on a 4-star scale. You know what I mean? So it's like, why limit ourselves to that if we're going to create something more than that? But that's Flip Gordon was pretty good. Flip Gordon's pretty good. He's pretty good.
He's
wrestler.
also, they did the Being the Elite, this most recent episode, I think it's like 95. They finally announced where the All In show is going to be. It's in Chicago.
Oh wow.
So that's where they're going to do it. They actually were going to, they were that was the whole shtick in the show, is they were fighting over who's going to announce it. And then Flip Gordon almost announced it, and then they turned the camera off on him, so then he can't even say it.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
like, if you
yeah.
idiots aren't going to say it, I will. And then they cut it off, and then it's Stephen Mel from Green Arrow. He announced that it was going to be in Chicago
That's cool.
because he's part of the what's his T-shirt? I own one. The Vigilante Club, like
That's
the
cool.
Bullet Club.
Yeah. That's cool.
And they tried to get Mick Foley to join the Bullet Club on the most recent episode of Being the Elite because they were there at the same night.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
That's funny.
He has the Socko Club.
It was CPAP Joe, right?
Yes. So we went to the show, and I introduced John to old CPAP Joe. And apparently,
CPAP.
according to some insider information, he wasn't quite understanding of the nickname.
Our sources
Sources on the inside say that he was...
sources inside the CPAP organization
were-
say that CPAP Joe wasn't in on the joke.
But I was told someone was trying to convince him to change his middle name on Facebook to CPAP. So it would say Joseph C. Pep, whatever his last name is.
Oh, who did that?
Our source.
Our source was trying to convince him to do that, and he, I think he's reluctantly hasn't done it yet.
Joseph CPAP Joe, whatever his last name is.
Oh my god,
Just in parentheses.
that's
Yes.
great. Or
But,
what if he like parentheses like CPAP Joseph last name?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It'd be
Like,
hilarious.
Just that was his new first name on Facebook.
Yeah.
Was CPAP. Oh man,
Trying.
That'd be
Imagine they like look up his Facebook for a job interview and just be like,
CPAP.
Why
why
do
do people call you CPAP Joe?
I really don't know.
Oh no. Okay, sorry. No, we get it. I don't know what CPAP means. I don't get it.
Yeah, he had to have it explained to him what what CPAP
really
was.
don't know why they say that about me. I don't know where the joke comes from.
No, we had a good time. No.
That's crazy. That's so funny. I gotta find. I need answers. I need more answers on this. That's good.
But,
what about? Ooh,
Jesus.
there we go.
Back at it. Back at it again.
Back at it again with the fucking
Whacking the mic.
the whacking the mic thing. Yes, see each other. That's funny. What about you? You got anything?
I reviewed. I put out a podcast.
Yeah.
First of all, I put out a new Set the Record Straight. Justin Timberlake's brand new album, Man of the Woods, orange vinyl. That's awesome. And then go listen to the podcast for the rest because
I'm really interested.
I had not listened. I listened to the album the day I recorded the podcast. I listened to it front to back while I was working.
Just say something.
Yeah.
Say something.
I listened to it front to back while I was working, and I actually got nervous because I was thinking about the show. I was thinking about Set the Record Straight, and I was like, the first two albums I reviewed are two albums that are like some of my favorite albums of all time. Mm-hmm. So I'm obviously very passionate about how good they are. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if I listen to an album and it's not my favorite album of all time, which I'm not saying about the Justin Timberlake thing, but if I listen to a record and it's not my favorite record of all time,
Yeah.
am I going to be able to put out a show that's good where I can do like a song-by-song breakdown
Yeah.
and
Tell me what's wrong with it.
I won't be able to have like the same passion for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, be
I don't
upset.
think I had that problem with this Justin Timberlake. As a matter of fact, it might be my most passionate episode.
There you go.
I don't know if that'll translate for all albums I listen to.
Right.
But I
think you do a good job of breaking down what you really enjoy about, like, oh, listen to the hi-hats on here or the drum pattern or whatever. Tell me where they're fucking up.
I do that a lot.
Yeah. There you go. I think that's it. I think that's good because when you're doing a review-based show, let me tell you, as a review-based expert, okay,
As an
expert,
Dave Dawson,
many years in the review
reviewer.
expertise. All right.
Hi, welcome to CNN. We have our first guest here, Dave Dawson, expert reviewer. That's what it says in your little thing.
In my resume?
Yeah, and your little like
my little blurb.
Yeah,
my digital blurb.
Expert reviewer.
Yeah.
Have you seen his one about Cheetos?
You know what's funny? It's actually my little expert excerpt. What would be the
expert
little excerpt? Right.
And then it would just say like
Why
69 mediocre at
why
best.
don't you and why don't mediocre 69?
Wildly disappointing. 69.
Why don't you and Kevin go by the review crew?
We could do that. But not everything's going to be a review.
I mean, outside person looking in, it seems like all reviews.
Right. Everything we've done so far.
Yes.
But we're I think there's some skits coming.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Just a review crew acting wild.
That's true. When I was on Jerry Morgan's Fistful of Jokes a couple weeks ago, he says to me like, "Oh yeah, like, you know, how can someone like not clean up? I hate when you go to someone's house and they're like, dude, you knew I was coming. Like, your house is dirty, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like, I've been coming for weeks. You knew that." And he says, as I say to the guy that's been to my house for the first time, and I'm wondering, like, man, is my house clean or whatever? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to review this when I leave.
Yeah, Dave of the review crew.
I'm going to see you in my driveway still doing it.
1-2 of the review crew.
I can picture that. You just go out and sit in your driveway, his driveway, smoking a cigarette, just like This place was fucking horrible.
And just like driving live.
Filthy as fuck.
Just a fistful of jokes. Can anyone live in that much filth? Jesus.
No, Jerry was very, very. It's actually, he's got a sweet pad, man. Really nice setup. So I don't
Super
want to turn
dirty
that around.
though.
It's like a fistful of dirt. No,
Fistful of jokes. Like fistful of dirt. Am I right?
No, Jerry's place was really, really nice. He was really,
Really,
cool.
really nice if you like glasses everywhere. Is that milk 4 days old? Jesus Christ.
Still good.
Jerry, these are not my words.
Plug your nose and down.
I
it, you're
walked
good.
in, first thing I saw, moldy bread. Not a great first impression.
All right,
I
so-
kicked through some dirty shirts,
There
made
was
my
a-
way down to the podcast studio.
There was a box of pizza there. He said it was still good.
Yeah, right. It's still just fuck
I
it.
asked
It's
him what
been
kind
out.
of pizza
Yeah,
it was.
still good.
He said cheese. I said, what's this green stuff on it? He said, don't worry about that.
He said blue cheese. I'm like, well,
To form a mold.
like,
well,
okay.
all right.
touche. I
Anyone
guess.
never seen ranch dripping off a counter? Saw it there.
Yes,
I'm sure he has a very clean house. I'm sorry.
He does. No, he's really good.
Jerry.
Jerry Morgan.
Good old CPAP Jerry.
No, but
that's not his name.
no, he's a very fine breather. He's got that breathing thing all figured out. No, but for the reviews, fucking put as much into what you don't like as much as what you like.
Yeah,
Seems very simple.
I did that in spades. I
But
might
you-
have
but-
been.
But you said that like you don't think you're.
Well, I was
gonna be able to
nervous.
do it.
I was nervous before I recorded
Oh right.
the
I'm sure it's fine.
review, and then as I was recording the review, I realized like, oh, I might be even more passionate
Right.
about what I don't like about this album
I think then you're good. I think
than what I liked about the other ones.
yeah. I think I haven't listened to it yet. Came out today, right? This morning.
This morning, yeah,
Yeah. So
at 12:01.
give that thing a listen to on my way home. I'll text you, let you know what I think.
Yeah.
Well, it actually came out Tuesday.
Yes. All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
We are.
a little post-dated thing
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. It came out Tuesday.
Came out Tuesday morning.
Tuesday morning.
So I will listen to it Tuesday night.
Yes.
Okay, how about that? Sound good? All right. We good?
That's the show.
Yep.
That's how we should just end it. That's the show.
Yeah.
then whoever says it first, just end. That's the show ends right there.
Fucking Hillbilly Jim's getting into the Hall of Fame.
Oh
WWE Hall of
Like
Fame.
CPAP Joe's cousin.
No.
Oh.
No.
It's close though.
I really like nicknames that are just like random word and then the person's first name. Just Hillbilly Jim, CPAP Joe, Hershey Kiss Tom.
There you go.
Just don't.
Hershey Kiss Tom? Remember Hershey
Yeah,
Kiss
you
Tom?
know, he's got all those Hershey Kisses. Crazy guy.
Yeah, 1979.
Yeah. Stone Cold Steve.
Northeast Wrestling Champion of the Year.
Yeah.
Stone Cold.
Stone Cold Steve.
Hat wearing Dan. He's always got those hats on. I love that guy.
Well, it's Stunning Steve.
He was Stunning Steve.
Yeah, that's more of a descriptive
What about
word.
like Hulk Hogan?
It has to be like almost. It almost has to be like inanimate object
Yeah,
person's
yeah.
name.
Yeah.
Just like
CPAP.
Yeah.
Joe. Yeah.
Violent J.
Violent J.
Dirty Napkin Jerry,
Right.
Dirty House Jerry,
Just blue.
old Dirty
blue,
House Jerry.
What about
Blue
Snoop
cheese
Dogg?
Snoop Dogg. Yeah.
That's just his name. That's just his government name.
Don't be disrespectful.
Mr. Dog to you.
It's Mr. Dog.
It's Mr. Dog to you.
That's Mr. I had someone.
Snoop Lion.
Hey, I found a definite answer to is a hot dog a sandwich. I know we all say no anyway,
Yeah.
but there's a definitive answer
Oh, really?
Because-
Stephen Hawking said this?
because yeah,
He's the only one who can
Because-
give definitive answers on
a
it.
sandwich, and this goes with your grinder take. A sandwich is two separate pieces of bread. In the definition,
Really?
yeah.
I mean, I knew I was right all along about the
Right.
grinder thing, but
It's two separate slices of bread.
who's not tough? What's his name?
Oh, MJ.
Oh, yeah. Take that, MJ.
Yeah.
Take that.
Yeah.